Very quick break. So make sure you get some snacks if you have them. We're gonna be back in a few minutes. While I was gone, while I had my back turned. Right. I think we'll get a recap. I think we'll get a recap after this. All right. That was a big episode. Episode 4. I can't remember if there's 4 or 5 episodes, but we're closing in on the end. Join the Discord. Follow us on Twitter. No, I don't think so. Decisions you made in episode 3 bear heavy physical consequences, and a visual reminder of these consequences will follow you the rest of this game. You can reduce the intensity of this visual reminder or remove it entirely at any point in the preferences. Okay, that's interesting. Would you like a recap? Yes, we would. We'll recap. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, the 26 hours of bus rides with countless late-night stops in city depots that would have felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. The funeral of Perlane Scarlet, your cousin's mother, your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Welcome to our humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. Now we don't know why, because this place was burned after the coal mine collapse. Afraid. A single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of Stella's flashlight, while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. Duke, come on, you whatever your name is, grab that flashlight and help me line up a good shot. As the creature in the tree line grow louder and more numerous, Gretchen violently strains against her harness. Dive forward and scoop Gretchen into your arms just before she manages to wiggle out of her harness. Your eyes fixate on the dark tree line over Duke's shoulders. Damn it. Stella, keep an eye on him for us. Make sure he doesn't get into any more trouble. My grandmother called them ditchlings, and they are a terrible omen, a sign of great suffering and destruction to come. Make yourself at home. Have to stay the night at Stella's house. From now on, you're back at the estate by bedtime. No more impromptu sleepovers. It's where we tell Avery about what all happened. Duke getting shot. The ditchlings. I'm gonna keep my ears open for you. The diner is where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what goes on around town. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters or anything else strange or unusual. Have either of you seen Rosalina around town? So this is the library. I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she doesn't seem to be answering. She hasn't been answering my texts. I wanted to make sure that she isn't getting into trouble out there. She was getting into trouble out there. Hi, Dr. Kelly. We were wondering if it would be okay if Reese could come out for a while. So Reese is Kanika and Stella's friend from childhood friend, and he's been very, very sick. Chronically ill, not able to be up for more than a few minutes at a time. Nothing strenuous, we promise. Whatever you two have planned, probably way beyond what he can manage right now anyways. There's Wayne. Stay home. You know, Wayne's text is always read in this stencil format. I wonder what that means. Stay home. Wait for the week to end. Don't keep putting yourself in the path of danger. This is all I ask. As you leave Tabitha's office, take a moment to get your bearings, only to be interrupted by the sudden movement out of the corner of your eye. So we're at the mine, and that's when we saw Rosalina kind of skulking around. So there's an active part of the mine that's actively being worked on, and then she skulked off to the old closed down mine that had partially collapsed. A girl carrying a bundle of sacks pops through the hole in the fence and disappears over the crest of a hill. She didn't. Guess the old Maxwell place doesn't cut it as a secret hangout spot these days. But the Shaw mine? That place was shut down like 100 years ago. A collapse killed over 100 people. You pull your phone, you dial your cousin. What is it? You know I'm into me. The kid just snuck down the Shaw mine. I figure you should know. What? Are you serious? Why does this keep happening to me? Whatever, I'll over there as soon as I can. Just stay where you are and wait for me, alright? I don't even know why I'm trying to reason with you. It's not like you'll listen. So we find the kids. My dad is a foreman at the continuous mining facility, and he says they only abandoned this mine because there wasn't enough coal left. It's actually really safe, and we can hang out whenever we want. Yo, it's Shaggy. Correction. Your father was a foreman at the continuous mining facility. We'll see if he even has a job tomorrow morning. My dad says our house is haunted. And it was. Nika is interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. Wait a second. Where'd the three of you run off to? Are you kidding me? There's something in the darkness before you. It's much louder, though you don't hear it, but you can feel it in your chest like a deep growl of a predator. What do you think you're doing? Get away from there. Your cousin dives towards you, but not before the light from your phone illuminates the chamber. That's where I saw the first wooden thing. First wooden carving. Emma! Are you alright? Wait, Becca and Alexis are still down there. You can't just leave them. I know which way they were going. They'll listen to you this time, I promise. This is where she gets pinned. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. Collapse in Tabitha's dusty guest bed, your head empty of thoughts. After your time in the Shaw mine, you barely even notice the dust. When you close your eyes, you see Rosalina's face, twisted with pain, staring up at you with tear-streaked cheeks. Trapped by powers beyond her control, terrified of what her now uncertain future would hold. Two of them now. What happened to your glass house? So Squatter moved in. Keep Dustin. Mom out. I wonder if that's Wayne. I wonder if Wayne's living in the greenhouse. So now these possums live in our drawer. You ready to leave? Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, Timma, before you go, I heard what happened last night. I mean, I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now. And then I heard it again. I just wanted to say, I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. I'll be praying for Oscar and poor little Rosalina. They're such sweethearts. Couldn't have happened to nicer people. I did in fact do these things. Was he phobic? He started the riot. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Of course. Oh, I have that backwards. Come on. If you like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will just be a minute. Excuse me. Wait, you're Timma, aren't you? My name is Bo. I'm Duke's boy. Pleasure to meet you. Policeman told me what happened to my daddy. Tabitha stops in front of a small house on a quiet hill just off Main Street. Scarlet owned most of the houses out here. We rent them out to employees, just more convenient, you know? Your cousin pulls out a heavy set of keys from her pocket. She picks one marked with a bright green strip and unlocks the door. Come on in. Don't worry, it's empty. Yep, he's a dog. Yeah, the mayor's a dog. He's a doge. Oh, this is also where we find out that other animals have been going missing. You can tell this dog is the mayor of the town from his little sash and his fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been placed in. Oh yeah, I forgot about the priest. Apparently everybody's creeped out by this priest. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're interrupted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. See why this town is so bad now. They have a dog as a mayor. Mystical, it's hard to put a finger on it, but something compels you to dislike this man. Sounds like old Gretchen and the mayor may have some unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Timma. Everyone's been buzzing about you. I'm so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. You ever like to discuss your beliefs? My door is always open. And this is the chronically ill kid. The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all of his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line the edges while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. Your mom is so scary. She can be a little intense. Kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourself comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately. I haven't been cleaning much. Dinner's already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kanika anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense, his shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. So we're talking about maybe watching a movie sometime this week while Emma's still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like it's ever gonna change. I'm sick every day, and I'm not getting any better, and I don't want to spend my last few miserable years of my life holed up in a basement alone just because seeing friends has been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sake. I can't believe I have to ask permission from my mom just to have my friends. Oh. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix. Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Hey, you're just in time. Rosalina's situated in the back room. Alexa's gonna keep her company while we hopefully get this all sorted out. Hey, hope I'm not too late. Have I missed any creepy paranormal stuff? Oscar and Kanika settle as the door swings open. Seems I made it just in time. Let's get the show on the road. I don't have all night. This is where I've seen it. Here's on top of the stain. Stella pulls back the carpet, revealing a hatch. Floor around it stained in reddish brown. I'm going for it. And she releases the Kragon on us. Wait, do you hear music? Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadows raises to attention. Stella? There you are. I would have found you sooner. But the resonant clearly doesn't want me here. Doesn't seem to have the same issue with these miserable little parasites. Bottom feeders always manage to slip through the cracks, don't they? Sins of the father are laid upon the children. One of you must forfeit. Doesn't matter which. Bullshit. Hope I didn't come too late. It wants something, doesn't it? I think you know which of you should volunteer. You must be joking. You take a step towards the light. Sybil is right. Sybil's right here. Please don't do this. You wordlessly step into the spotlight. I'm so sorry, Timma. I don't think I could talk right now. She hurries off down the road. Before I go, Sybil places a hand on your arm, holding you back for a moment. I'm sure you have questions after everything you saw tonight, and about what's happened to you, but let's not get into that here. I think everyone could use a little rest and relaxation right now, self included, or yourself included. If you swing by the tea room tomorrow, say early afternoon, you and I can have a little chat. I'll see you then, Timma. You didn't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed suddenly. You're just there, buried in your family's musty covers. The spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. has been put to rest. The expense of unknown years of your life. The specter of the night's events will linger over you for every day you have left, a grim reminder of the price you willingly paid for the crimes of a family you never met. Maybe it'll be easier in the morning. Maybe your joints will ache just a little less than they do now. Maybe you can still right the capsized ship of your now broken life. Riku! Hello! We are doing good. We're doing good. I hope you are well, my friend. I've been lurking for a bit. We'll finally get enough cleaning done. Let's go.
They're probably 8 players.
Yeah, this game is getting good. It's getting good.
30 seconds left. Last player standing.
Last one main.
Welcome in. Glad you got your cleaning done. Or maybe things will only get worse from here. Wake up. You open your eyes. It's a new day. And you feel like shit. Mystical. In the bright morning light, you're finally able to take stock of how much the spirit took from you. You feel dulled, your bones creaky, your soul weighed down with the exhaustion of age. Me on a Monday, right? I did what had to be done. I don't care what happens to me. I made the right decision and I'll do it again. What have I done? Life goes on. What happened yesterday, and today is another day. Yep, what's done is done. But life will go on. Life goes on, but how much longer will your life go on? We encountered a ghost, a real ghost. It was the foreman of the Scarlet mine from 100 years ago. And our great aunt? Yeah, our great aunt got pregnant by him. And he reported to our great grandfather that the mines were unsafe. He said the timber that they used to build the supports for the mines was compromised. He told the Enoch who was running the mines He ignored it and used the timber and caused the collapse. Killed 160 people, including 60 children that were working at the mine. So our great aunt was going out, was having a relationship behind our family's back with the foreman who knew, he knew that the Scarlets knew the mine wasn't safe. So she ended up killing him. She pushed him down into a basement and killed him purposefully. So he's been haunting this basement, and in order to set his soul free, he was going to take away some number of years of our life. We could have chose to let him be. He would have still been, stuck in the basement. His soul would have been anchored to the basement. But we opted to trade some of our life to let him go free. An involuntary shudder runs down your spine, but your thoughts are interrupted by a buzz from your phone on the nightstand. Hey, just wanted to check in. I hope you're doing okay. Also want to ask if you heard from Stella. Check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Call Stella, text Stella. Haven't heard from her. I'm sure she'll be fine. Oh God, what if she's in trouble? Never mind, Stella. How are you doing? I don't want to be so... Let's call Stella. You dial Stella. So this ghost, it possessed all of it. So it was in Oscar's house. Oscar is the librarian, and the entrance to the basement was underneath his daughter's bedroom where he saw the ghost. So we all go into the house to play Phasmophobia, essentially. We even had an EMF reader and a parabolic microphone. So we went into the house, we found the secret entrance to this basement, and the ghost was able to trap us in the basement, all of us. And the ghost was able to possess all of our friends. They couldn't possess me or Tabitha because we are part of the Scarlet family. And basically through our friends, the ghost reenacted what had happened. But they were conscious, they were just possessed. So they could see everything that happened. And hear everything that happened. They were talking as if they were the people from 100 years ago. Yeah. So they're all traumatized, and Stella's especially traumatized because he's the one that wanted to try to exorcise the ghost. Hey, what's up? Just kidding. I'm not able to come to the phone right now. This is actually a recording of my voice. It isn't really me. Technology, huh? Anyways, leave me a message or don't. I never check this thing. Mailbox is full and can't accept messages at this time. Oh, what? I tried to text her, but texting her. Okay. Hey, are you good? Wait for a few minutes in silence. Your message sits undelivered. Haven't heard from her either. That's not good. I think we should try looking for her. Let's meet up in town. Looks like we have your morning plans in order. Take a shower, check the dust closet, visit Dustin. Let's start with the dust closet. Okay. Still dusty? Still creepy doll? There's no denying it. The doll moved at some point since your most recent visit. But your long dead relative's creepy doll isn't the only thing that's different. Someone was in here. Something to mull over the rest of the day. Let's visit Dustin. You open the drawers. They both have bread now. Where'd they get bread? Human is back. Smell old now. Maybe he changed his mind about eating us. Could be the end of Dustin and Dustin Mom. I would never eat you. I love you. Does the mom know better than to trust? When push comes to shove, survival more important than friendship. Does the mom spend too much time outside? It's different inside. There's enough bread for everyone here. No need to eat friends. Dustin still have childhood innocence. Hope Dustin get to keep that innocence forever. I guess. Oh, try to reclaim your glass house last night. Glass house squad are too big and strong. Dustin mom stand no chance. I have to live in Dustin house forever. Human big and strong too. Probably more big and strong than asshole squatter. You fight. Give Dustin mom glass house back. I'll do my best. Fight someone or fight something. I'll see what I can do. I'm not accepting side quests from above. I will accept a side quest. Fight someone or fight something. I'll see what I can do. Squatter have sharp thing on head. Human be careful. Dustin mom will be eternally grateful to human. Dustin too. I should get going. Hey. That's that. Let's take a shower. You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. Hot water soothes your aching joints. Despite the state of the bathroom, this shower is a good place. As it rinses your body clean, you think about the door in the clinic. You're still drawn to it. Even now, you go back there. For the specter of an early death, nah. Oh my gosh, there's so much to think about. Accidentally slept. Oh, no worries. If you're tired, get some rest, friend. Get some rest. You think about the door in the clinic. You're still drawn to it, even now. You'll be going back there today. You're sure of it. Done here, you dry yourself off. Time to face your cousin. You find her in the kitchen, her shoulders hunched in a tight ball of anxiety. They're striking. This week of all weeks, as if I didn't have enough on my plate already. Wanna go? Have a good stream? Thank you for stopping in. Hope you get some good rest, friend. See you later. Get some good rest. Mystical. Does it even matter how the strike plays out? Any resolution would merely treat the symptoms of this disease rotting in the hearts of Scarlet Hollow. For things to stand any chance of getting better, there's something deeper you still have to fully uncover. Let's see. Strike is just a symptom of the rot of this place. The strike is just a symptom of the rot in this place. Tabitha, if we don't treat the underlying disease, it won't matter who wins. Don't worry yourself over this little rabble. It won't last long, trust me. You know what the strikers even want? I haven't seen a list of demands. I'm sure it's just the usual. I promise you that if one of them were in my shoes for a month, they'd be singing a different tune. So that's why the ditchlings are here? They were predicting the strike? Those doughy things we saw in the library yesterday? Look, I get it. There's weird stuff happening right now. But let's not muddy something as mundane as a strike with the supernatural. They're two entirely different things. I'm usually pro-union, but come on, your mom just died. Can they not? Shouldn't they care about the mine doing well? It's the backbone of this whole town. You work hard too. They should realize that. Right. As if it's easy being the boss. Probably should have seen this. You probably should have seen this coming. Who's to say I didn't? It wasn't ever really a question of if, more of a question of when. Forgive me if I didn't expect them to walk out a few days before my mother's funeral. I didn't even wait till Pearlin was in the ground. So ghosts are real. Okay. So ghosts are real. I still can't get over that. I can. What does it actually change about anything? You're Scarlet. You're probably going to die young anyways. I still have a mind. I'm sorry about last night. We should have left. Yeah, we should have. Have you heard anything about Stella? I can't get a hold of her. No. That's not exactly newsworthy. I'm sure she's just processing what happened last night. We weren't the only ones who were traumatized. If the mine's in trouble, you should just sell it and sell the estate. Get out while you still can. With the bristles. I'm not giving up like that. This is the Scarlet mine. I'm not just going to cash out on our family legacy. I'm bringing that mine back to life, one way or another. You probably should get going, right? Yeah. I've dawdled long enough. Stay safe. No more hijinks. But let me know if you get into trouble, okay? Tabitha slips past you, her heavy boots trotting down the hallway. She marches away to face her employees. I'm gonna figure out the rest of your day. You walk over to the cat. I'm not gonna attempt it. Cat speaks French. Wait, there is something different with you. Have the years finally caught up to you? I made a deal with a ghost, so I'm old now. Every day that we open our eyes, we are making a deal with life. All of us are stones on the shore, weathered a little more and more each day by the relentless tides of time. Man, this cat's deep. We will all be ground to dust by an uncaring universe, but that is the beauty of life. I missed you last night, Rufro. That makes one of us. I'm sure Frou-Frou knows about the possums. Actually, I can't. Will you ever let me pet you? In my coat? Fur? In your disgusting human oils? No. Do you know anything about stone carvings scattered around town? I'm not here to be your commention detective. I'm here to watch you flail about in the darkness. I'm not here to provide answers to whatever mysteries confounded your feeble American mind. I don't want to talk. Thanks for not attacking the opossums. The opossums. Thanks for not attacking the possums who live in my drawer. They're my friends. And if anything bad happens to them, they'd be hell to pay. Of course, you would consider those rats to be your friends. I will not dirty my claws with their diseased flesh. You nod respectfully to Frou-Frou. She scoffs, her tail twitching with annoyance. But you can sense she's less annoyed than she usually is. Maybe she's getting used to you. Bye, Frou-Frou. Good talk. She scoffs as you turn away. Let's fuel up with a PBJ. If Stella's MIA, who knows when you get a chance to eat? And who knows just how much your new affliction will affect your appetite. You make yourself a PBJ in anticipation of a long day ahead of you. That's that. Let's investigate the garden. Whoever kicked Dustin's mom is out in the garden right now. You better look into it before you head in town. The air is chilly today, the overcast sky hanging oppressively over the weed-choked flower beds. Investigate the greenhouse. You start carefully picking your way through the underbrush. It doesn't take much effort to find a path. Cuttings of prickly raspberry bushes and tangled vines led to the ground around the greenhouse. Glass house, one can say. You step towards the door. It's sealed shut by a lock, and you catch a brief glimpse of a horned shadow through the ancient clouded glass. You examine the lock. It looks sturdy. You'll need to find some tools if you're going to get it open. Maybe Stella or Kanika can lend a hand. What's your name, little guy? Goat? What are you doing in the greenhouse? Human put in here. Can't explain. Pretty sweet digs, honestly. Stay nice and warm. And there's plenty of eats, too. Did that human have a brown coat and big boots? Coat? What? Fur? Nah, not brown fur. Yellow fur. Just on the top. Like all you humans. Don't know what boots are. Can't help you there. Where did you come from? Farm. Used to live with other guys, like me. Kinda miss him. But not that much. Don't gotta share anymore. Guess I'll leave you to it then. See you. Or not. It's a wild world out there. Alright. Goat. You investigated the garden. With Stella missing, it's best not to keep Kanika waiting for much longer. Let's head into town. You go to the front door and begin your trek to the town below. The birds sound different today, muffled, like your ears are full of cotton. The dull sun shines down on the surrounding wilderness, seeming to wash the colors from the world. But, adjusting already, your body is starting to accept the change that has come over it, to accept that this is how things will be from here on out. So there's ditchlings everywhere. There's one here, here. You can't but feel countless eyes watching you from the tree line, a feeling that reminds you of the time in the woods with Stella. Ditchlings shouldn't be out in the middle of the day, though. They're getting bolder. To your surprise, you find a familiar face walking up the path. Hey, I was just coming to see you. Hope you're able to get some sleep with everything happening last night. They don't say anything about your appearance, but you can see them taking you in. The light of day revealing your new features for the first time. You doing okay? Spirits have taken a piece of me. That's all. It's gone. I'm still here. Very badass. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. How do you feel now it's a new day? Possession is the sort of thing that can leave a mark on a person's soul. Oh, thanks for asking about the state of my soul. I appreciate that. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have an impact. I kind of feel bruised all over, physically and spiritually. But hey, that's part of life, right? Nobody makes it to the end completely unscathed. And I'm kind of thrilled that my new emotional baggage comes from a ghost instead of some normal, boring trauma. You were coming up to see me? That's sweet. What can I say? I'm someone who knows what they want. I would have walked up here at the crack of dawn, but I figured I should let you sleep at least a little longer. Though, not too much longer. I had to make sure you didn't go run off into trouble without me. There's ditchlings everywhere now, even though it's daytime. He returns to survey the tree line. I noticed a few on my way up. They're kind of funny. Now that I'm getting a good look at them, with their scrunched up little Sharpie faces. So should I be worried about those things? I know they're a bad omen, but like, are they dangerous? They're not gonna eat me if I take a wrong turn, right? You need only fear what they foretell. Okay, cool, and ominous. As long as being eaten alive isn't on the table. Unless they're foretelling a zombie invasion or something with werewolves. In which case, I guess I'm still stuck with getting eaten alive. So these explore options, you can do all of them, usually, but it's these bottom ones that you can't do. You have to choose one or the other. So that's why I'm just going through the explore options. How are you doing? Okay after last night? Great. With something like position, I kind of feel like there are more upsides than downsides. There aren't a lot of people out there who can say they've been through something like that. It's a pretty cool badge of honor, as far as I'm concerned. Have you heard anything from Stella? I haven't heard from her, though we don't text much, and I haven't checked with Winnie to see if she came in for an early breakfast or anything. But if you haven't heard from her, that doesn't sound great. Seeing her like that last night was awful. She's usually so unflappable. Nick and I are meeting up to look for Stella. Want to come? Absolutely. I told Winnie I'd be coming in late today, so I got time. I don't know how much time though. From what I saw this morning, there's already a few miners holed up in there. They must be using it as a home base for the strike. Oh, by the way, there's a strike going on. I'm sure you already know though. I have to imagine Tabitha would have told you this morning. Let's head to town. Yeah, good idea. You and Avery start back down the path to town. It isn't long until you find yourself on the main street of Scarlet Hollow. Emma, you made it. And you picked up Avery along the way. Hope you're both doing okay, like, emotionally. Yeah, I'm not bad. Better after seeing Tima. That's good. Feel like I got crushed by a steamroller or something. Joints are all out of whack, totally exhausted and super foggy. Mom has been insisting I caught a cold, and I wasn't buying it. But as for this morning, I've come around. It's definitely something beyond exhaustion, even considering the ridiculously stressful week we've had. I'm not going to let that stop me from looking for Stella. Do you still think there could be a rational explanation for all of this? Nika sighs heavily. Rational? Sure. Rooted in the reality that, until a few days ago, I thought was devoid of all magic and supernatural shit. Ghosts are real. They can suck you into illusionary dimensions and puppet your body like a fleshy marionette. Next thing you know, we'll find out there's a secret society of warlocks running the country, or that angels are real. You gotta admit, it's kind of thrilling, isn't it? Anything could be possible. Who knows what the new day holds for all of us? It'd be a little more thrilling if it weren't terrifying. All the magical stuff we found so far just wants to hurt us. We need a magical being that's on our side. Where are the magical girls when you need them? Though, I guess we already have an animal whisperer, don't we? That's pretty magical. Wait, you could talk to animals for real? When were you going to tell me? Wow, I'm going to need you to tell me what every animal we meet is saying. This is so cool. Oh, you really took that in stride, didn't you? I take everything in stride. There's no better way to live. Okay. Maybe my mystical powers will finally awaken into something more proactive. I'm sick of just unwillingly channeling spirits and knowing when something bad's gonna happen. Maybe magic just doesn't awaken them. Maybe you need to find someone to teach you how to use it. Okay, who? Isn't it obvious? Your mom's a witch, Kanika. How else can you explain her rescuing all of us last night? My mom? No way. She's just new age crystal herb later. She's not. She broke into the ghost's dimension. She just waltzed right in. I mean, she couldn't be, right? I mean, after last night, anything's possible, and she did rescue everyone from the ghost dimension. Is someone manning the general store while we go look for Stella? You're the general store. Mom could deal. Whoa, did I miss something? You good, Kanika? Just some family drama. I'm sure I was gonna take a sick day anyways. I don't want to infect the entire town with whatever cold this is. Instead, I'll just infect you both, and whoever else we come across while looking for Stella. I was kind of surprised you reached out to me after all the issues between you and Tabitha. You sacrificed years of your life to exorcise a ghost for people you haven't met until what, 2 days ago? That kind of outweighs whatever feud I have with your cousin. And I'm not going out there alone because the last thing I want to go is go missing looking for someone who went missing. We do everything in groups from now on. People shouldn't be judged by their family anyways. Whatever people may think of your cousin, it has nothing to do with you. I'm supposed to see your mom at some point today. Maybe she'll finally shed some light on things. I'm not sure what she's planning to tell you today, but she couldn't have told the rest of us last night. Maybe she's gonna read your fortune. After last night, I wouldn't doubt she actually could. Your mom's always had a bit of that Linda vibe going for her. Yeah, maybe I should stop making fun of this whole new age mystic thing. Lots happened in the past couple of days. Okay, let's get started. I don't want to waste another minute. Where do we go to first? Let's go to Stella's house. We should go to the cop. No, screw the cops. We should check in on Oscar. He's smart. Maybe he'll know what to do. Let's check out the diner. We should go to the mines. We should go check the church. Let Avery know that you and Kanika can make it from here. Okay, so let's do the explorers first. Let's go to Stella's house. Good place to start. Maybe she just slept in. That's what I'm hoping. I would have gone already, but I was kind of nervous about doing anything by myself today. Just in case I ran into another horror from beyond the veil or whatever. You make your way towards Stella's house. Creaks open. The interior is cold, not just physically. There's an absence of joy and life that leaves only a chill behind. The ghost of an empty house and the sombering dread that comes with the knowledge that your search won't end here. I don't sense anything supernatural here, but I don't look like... I don't sense anything supernatural here, but I don't like the looks of this. Might as well invite ourselves in, right? Yeah, we should go on in. Cool. I'll be brave and go first. Avery casually steps over the threshold of Stella's house. The living room's almost exactly as you saw it the other day. Whatever happened to Stella, it doesn't look like it happened here. It doesn't look like there was a struggle or anything, unless it happened in another room. Or maybe there's something, or maybe someone or something caught her off guard. You didn't have to add that last part. I'm gonna forget you said that, and just be thankful this doesn't look like a crime scene. Stella's kitchen is slightly messy. A couple of cabinets are hanging open, and a loaf of bread sits on the corner on the counter by a used butter knife. Is Stella's kitchen normally this messy? I wouldn't call this messy. It's a little messy. This is a little messy. I don't want to know what you call my room. I wasn't judging. There's just nothing wrong with a little mess. Okay, I have a problem with leaving bread open on the countertop, but where I live, like with the humidity, you leave bread open on the countertop, it's gonna go stale within seconds. Or lots of mess. We're getting off track. Stella's house has always felt a little sterile to me. This feels a little too lived in. If that makes sense. So maybe that's just because I've only ever been here when she's already expecting me. Maybe this is just a rare peek behind the curtains of the real Stella. True. The real Stella should call her friends and let them know if she's okay. You make your way down the hall to what you assume is Stella's room. She's not here. Though it's a little untidy, it's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests to their bedroom. There aren't any signs of violence. Better not hear a single comment about this room being messy. I wasn't going to say anything. You go to check Stella's computer. I'm not sure we should be snooping on her computer. Isn't that an invasion of privacy? Well, hopefully she deleted browser history. We're already broken into her house, right? For all we know, there could be some sort of clue on there. Like a note detailing exactly where she is. We didn't break into her house. The door was left wide open. Um, let's see. What option? I'm with Avery. What if we don't find Stella and it's all because we didn't snoop on our computer? Sure, snoop away. But I'm not going to take part of this. I'll just be over here, standing in the corner of the room, not looking over your shoulder. Let me know if you find anything. All right, let's see what kind of business she's in. Stella's desktop is officially cluttered. There's simply too many files and folders to fit on her monitor. They overlap each other in chaos of a multi-layered display. How do we find anything on here? You don't. Come on, let's go. Check search history. Yeah, we're gonna check our search history. It would take you all day to count the number of tabs. Stella, manage them tabs. You can't be having 400 tabs open. So numerous are her tabs that you can't see a single icon. A sea of rounded, featureless triangles from Windows edge to Windows edge. Her most recent tab is a post on Uncle Carl's Bigfoot Farm, forum for her cryptozoology enthusiasts. The post in question is titled, "Something Big is Happening in Scarlet Hollow." Hey Everin, was chasing a skunk ape sighting the other night, and I found these weird little guys. My friend's mom says there's something called ditchlings, but I've never heard of them. Anyone have any good leads? Camera isn't shaky enough. This is totally staged. See, mouse stand. Clear footage and some sort of cryptid nobody has heard of except for your friend's mom. The only thing I'm seeing when I Google ditchlings is some city in England, though thought you were legit. Guys, since when did high quality footage count as anything other than actual evidence? Those things are terrifying. Thank you, lucky stars. Gary 2125479. Since every low budget horror movie started doing guerrilla marketing, I smell an ARG. Hidden Appalachia. I'm serious. I've got a ton of extra footage. Look at what they've been doing to the animals in town. They're apparently some sort of bad omen, like Mothman. Moth Stan. Okay, I'm listening. I love me a Mothman. Lucky stars, I believe you. You're lucky you're falling right into her lap. I don't trust YouTubers. They're entertainers, not scientists. Greg continues into the next day. Hey, okay, so this isn't an ARG. I would never. And two, you're not going to believe this, but we went into an old abandoned mine to investigate things, and I'm pretty sure we found some Tommy knockers. Listen to this knocking. We managed to catch it on tape. There's a link to an audio file titled Tommy Knockers Real. Just because you put the word real in a file name doesn't make it real. 2 supernatural events back to back. This is so fake. I can't believe I bought into that River Runner hype. You're so full of it. YouTubers are always going to sell out big indie horror. This is kidnapped by aliens all over again. Also, doughy white things and now loud popping noises. This is definitely an ARG. Did you sell out to Pillsbury? Stop cyberbullying her, or I'm gonna call the mods. Oh, not the mods. Locking this thread and giving everyone a 7-day ban. No cyberbullying, no self-promo. Uncle Carl. Oh, the mod showed up. The thread ends. Wow, poor Stella. Remind me to never be internet famous. Here's hoping my SoundCloud stays niche and unappreciated until the day I die. Uncle Carl, pro gamer. Man. Man, what's up? Thank you. Thank you for the ghost event.
Right, I found the job place.
Oh shit. Brian, no, drown me.
Right, I let go as soon as you started going down.
How's it going?
Oh my
It's
God.
going really
Wow.
well. It's going really well.
Oh, okay,
So
I'm not
lovely to
too
see
far.
you.
I'm not too far.
This is
Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. This game is very interesting. Game is interesting. Supernatural game. I don't know how much of the synopsis you caught. I've been lurking and listening to the story. Still not sure what's going on. Yeah, we're still trying to figure it out. Basically, we came to our hometown. Our mom left her hometown with us when we were very young. We are part of the Scarlet family. I did see those sausage neck monsters, so that's something. Yeah. So we're from the town of Scarlet's Hollow, and when we were very young, our mom took us away from home and raised us in a different city. So we had no connection to our family. Our mom died, and our cousin's mom died a little bit later. So our cousin asked us to come to the funeral. Cousin is Tabitha Scarlet, and Scarlets are like the patriarch of the town. The town was a old mining town. So the Scarlets own the Scarlet mine, and they basically built this town with the money from the mine. When we got to this town, we met this girl Stella, who is a YouTuber, who does hunts for cryptids, for like paranormal creatures. We met her in the town the first day we got in, and she invited us to go on a cryptid hunt with her. We went out to the woods, and we came across a farmer named Buck, who his chickens were going missing. And he thought it was a bobcat or a mountain lion stealing his chickens. So he was out, he had the stick, he had the shotgun on him. He's like, I'm gonna find that dang thing. The YouTube, yeah, the Corey flashbacks, yeah. So he's like, I'm gonna find that bobcat. He's like, hey, y'all be careful if there's a bobcat out here, don't get bit. So we go off on our own ways, and we run into these creatures, the sausage neck looking creatures. They get in a scuffle with I think I said his name is Duke. I think I said something else. With Duke, he ends up actually getting shot by his own shotgun in a scuffle and dies. We get out of there. We call the police. The police roll up, and they're like, hey, what are you kids doing out here at night? It's dangerous. We told them what happened, and they were like, yeah, I don't know about that. They were very suspicious. They very much wanted to keep things covered up. They didn't even go to search for Duke's body. They're like, oh, we'll do it tomorrow morning. So they were very, very sketchy. They seemed to know that they should not go out into the woods that night. So we continued digging. We found out through another one of Stella's friends' moms, Kanika. Her mom is Sybil. She's like a new aged witch, essentially. We found out those creatures that we saw are called ditchlings. The ditchlings are an omen of something terrible that's about to happen. So we are trying to find out what's going on. We go to the Scarlet Mine to investigate. Now there's a continuous mining operation that's going on that's being run by our cousin, whose mom died, that brought us in town in the first place. Tabitha Scarlet, she runs the mines now. We try to get some information on the miners. There wasn't a lot. We know that there was an ex-miner named Wayne. Something terrible happened to him. He's really sick, but he seems to have some kind of knowledge of this supernatural goings on. Let's see. While we're at the mine, we actually saw a kid sneaking around the mine, and they end up going into the old abandoned mine that had collapsed 100 years ago, killed 160 miners. So we see the kid sneak down there. We follow the kid, find out that the kid is the daughter of the librarian. His name is Oscar, and they were acting out like kids do, hanging out in the old abandoned mine, just like we used to do as kids. So they were hanging out there. We tried to get them to leave. They refused. Some of them snuck off. And the mine started to collapse again when they snuck off. Tabitha finds us. We start looking for the kids. And then we encounter a giant stone carving, and it gives us a flashback of what actually happened. Turns out the Scarlets, the foreman of the mine 100 years ago, had found out that the supports for the mine walls had been compromised, and the mine was unsafe. He told our great grandfather, I think it was, Enoch Scarlet, and he just basically dismissed it and said, no, keep digging, we got to keep digging. Well, of course, the mine collapses, kills the miners, and it's clearly our fault. So we are able to get the kids out, but one of the girls gets trapped, ends up losing her leg, Rosalina. But everybody gets out. Oof, yeah, oof indeed. We meet up with one of Stella's friends. His name escapes me. Reese is an artist. He lives. He has a chronic illness. His mom's a doctor. She doesn't know why he has a chronic illness, but we think we saw one of those stone carvings in her house, and maybe related. But he gets sick, so we get kicked out before we can investigate. We end up going back to the library where Oscar and Rosalina live. Rosalina's the girl who lost her foot. Oscar's her dad. Her dad, they've been living in the library instead of in their house because their house was haunted by a ghost. Rosalina doesn't believe it. The dad says he saw it. We go into the house. We find in Rosalina's bedroom, there's a trap door under her floor. When they open it, we all get trapped in what seems like a hallucination, but it's actually the ghost's little dimension that they made. Remember that scene? Did she die? She just lost the leg. Yeah, she just lost the leg. So we find out through the ghost that the ghost is actual Charles Shaw, who's the foreman of the mine 100 years ago. And he was in a secret affair, secret relationship with Enoch's daughter, and gets her pregnant. But he knows about the accident. He knows that it's Enoch's fault. She ends up killing him, pushing him down the stairs at the basement of this house, and beating him to death with a baseball bat. So his spirit is trapped down there. And now he's possessed all of our friends, and he wants us to pay for the crimes of the Scarlets. So we pay for the crimes by giving up some number of years of our life to exercise. Yeah. Swear this is how Phasmophobia ghosts are made. Yeah. And it's funny because they definitely alluded to Phasmophobia because Scarlet, who's the cryptid hunter, the YouTuber, she had a EMF reader, she had a thermometer, parabolic mic, she had cruces, she had salt. What else did she have? She had all the ghost hunting gear. But yeah, now Scarlet has, after last night, we've given up large portions of our lives. They were all possessed for some amount of time. She went home, but now she's missing. So now we're looking for her by going through her browser history, like friends do. All right, let's check her search history. You check Stella's search history. She hasn't visited any sites since Tuesday. If she came home after last night's incident, she didn't touch her browser. Her search history is almost entirely work-related. A furious series of queries for various monsters and cryptids that might fit the profile of ditchlings. That's that. Okay, I think we've seen enough. Thank God. Yeah, we didn't find her adult tabs. That's a disappointing search history. I know. I was hoping to find something juicy. Let's see. I love seeing someone's room before they had a chance to clean it up for company. It's a neat little snapshot, you know? Speak for yourself. If the roles were reversed and I was missing and you and Stella were poking around my room unannounced, I'd be completely mortified. Spoken like someone who's got a whole lot of secrets. My room is immaculate. A guest could drop by unannounced at 2 a.m. I wouldn't even sweat a thing. Congratulations, you have your shit together. Thank you. Come by it, honest. I will say that this is what her room looks like for pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer is getting a lot fancier. Use a few more houseplants. I'll put together some trimmings after we found her. She still does those corkboard string things. She loves putting the strings on there. I don't think they actually mean anything. They're more for decoration anyway. I don't think we're gonna find anything here. Let's move on. Visit Stella's on Tuesday morning. Okay, so maybe she came home last night, maybe she didn't, but she's definitely missing. Thought I was overreacting this morning. I hope she would just be sleeping in. I can't believe she's actually missing. We'll find her. Where to next? Go to the cops. We should check in on Oscar. He's smart, maybe he'll know what to do. Let's check out the diner. We should check out the church. We should go to the mines. I don't want to go to the cops. Let's check out the church because we've never had that opportunity before. We should check out the church. The church? Why? See what you're thinking. Stella was confronted with evidence of the afterlife, so she might try getting into all that religious stuff. It's worth checking out. I think we're barking up the wrong tree, but I guess you're right. There's no point in not being thorough. I wouldn't mind stocking up on some holy water while we're there. Seems like a good idea to cover our bases at this point. I don't think Baptists do the holy water thing. I'm sure Pastor Daniel would pretend to bless some water if it meant keeping us around for a little while longer. That's good enough for me. Let's not linger though. I don't want him thinking that we're possible converts. Kanika leads the way, taking you up the gradual slope towards the church. You know, I've lived here for a few years now. I've never actually been to the church. That's probably a good reason. Where's that weirdo? Oh god, there he is. Oh my. 4 visitors at once? Thursday. This is unprecedented. But there are only 3 of us. Oh no, were we followed by a ditchling? Were we followed by Wayne? What's up, old people? It's Shaggy. Oh, it's just Zane. What are you doing here? All the glimpses of death I had in the past 2 days have forced me into the midst of an existential crisis, my dudes. I wanted to see if faith held any answers for me. Alas, I've not found the solace I seek. Give it time, Zane. It sometimes takes a while for the Lord to work his way into your heart, but when he does, you won't regret letting him in. Be sure to look for those pamphlets I gave you. Or be sure to look over those pamphlets I gave you. And of course, I'm always here if you need to talk. Sure thing, Pastor. Peace, y'all. Anyway, we're looking for Stella. She wandered off last night, and no one has seen her since. We're starting to get pretty worried. We hope maybe you or Janie has seen her? I can't speak for Janie. I'm afraid I've seen neither hide nor hair of Stella. If you'd like to talk to my wife, she's just over there by the alpacas. So, Tima, I was hoping we might be able to talk in private. What do you have to say to him that you can't say in front of us? Please, if you wouldn't mind. This is a personal matter. It's all right. We can get the juicy details later. I'd rather folks not pry on this. You know how rumors get started. Let's see. It's okay. I'm happy to talk to him. Let's see let's see what's going on. He did allude that he could talk to animals. I guess we'll leave you while we check in with Janie. We'll be right over there by the fence. It's conveniently in your line of sight, okay? See you in a minute. Your friends head off to Janie and the alpacas, leaving you alone with the nervous pastor. I'm so glad you came. I'm sorry, I have to give him a little bit of a creepy voice. I've never met anyone who could hear them. You have no idea how long I thought I must have had some kind of insanity. I even thought at one point that it must be the Lord himself talking to me through them. They never had anything insightful to say, so I was disvowed by that pretty early on. Let's see. You're not going to comment on my appearance? You saw me yesterday. A ghost cursed me. You're not going to comment on my appearance? You saw me yesterday. A ghost cursed me last night, and now I'm old. Oh, and here I thought you were putting on some sort of early Halloween costume. Maybe prayer can help? After we finish talking, I've got some wonderful little pamphlets I'd be happy to share with you. Are you sure we're actually talking to animals? Now that I know there are at least two of us, I have no doubt. There have definitely been times in my life when I thought I might just be insane. But it's so consistent, and I've never exhibited any other signs of insanity. In my most doubting moments, I've considered the possibility that other entities may be using the animals to confuse my faith. But besides a particularly vicious hamster I had growing up, most animals I've ever tried to convince me to do was give them more food. So I somehow doubt they're puppets for some otherworldly evil, unless that otherworldly evil wants me to overfeed my pets. Have you met Frou-Frou? Gretchen? Pixel? Of course I have. But I learned early on in life not to let on that I have this gift, at least while other humans are around. So I haven't spoken to any of them. Though I get that feeling Frou-Frou wouldn't want to talk to me, even if she knew I could understand her. I've tried to befriend the alpacas when no one's around. Emphasis on tried. They're surprisingly cliquey. Besides that, I try to maintain a low profile, only chatting with the wildlife when I'm sure no one else is looking. Is your gift what got you into the church? It's hard to say. I was raised Baptist by two loving parents, and I've always been interested in religion. I've also known about my talent, so I don't know what came first. If anything, though, I'd say I'm religious in spite of the gift. It hasn't exactly been easy to square this with a lot of other religious education I've had. For instance, a lot of religious leaders would tell you that only humans have souls. Well, you and I know that's not true. Though I suppose that gets into a whole different conversation, what exactly a soul is. Those conversations that I'm glad to leave to the scholars. I'm just a simple small-town pastor. I don't need to ask the big questions anymore. I have to help people through their daily lives. We've been cursed. Why do we suffer this fate? I don't think it's a curse. It can be annoying at times, but so can talking to people. Not that I felt that way very often, of course. As a servant of God, I'm always ready and willing to talk to my fellow man about anything they need to discuss. Hey, Blue. Hello, welcome back. Spiritually, I've always rationalized it as God's sign that I should spread his word to even the beasts of his world. I have mixed results. It seems the alpacas prefer Catholicism, which they know about. And birds tend to be incredibly heretical. Physically, I wish I had answers. I wish I could approach a scientist about this without becoming a research experiment. Facts? We can do that. We could do that. Let's see. Yeah, give me a sec. What did I miss? So we finished chapter 3. We finished chapter 3, so we went to Oscar's house, and we encountered the ghost. We got trapped in the ghost dimension. We found out the ghost was the former foreman of the mine, Christopher Shaw, and he'd been killed by his lover, Eddie Scarlet. He knew about the yeah, you missed exorcism. Yeah. So he knew about the problems with the mine and that the supports were compromised, and Enoch didn't stop the operation, and Enoch's at fault for the collapse. So Eddie ended up killing him, and he was underneath the floorboards in the basement of Oscar's house, haunting it until he could get retribution on the Scarlets. So we paid for the sins of Enoch and Eddie by giving up part of our life. Yeah. We sacrificed our life, not Tabitha's, ours. Yep. Let's see. Let's look for a fact. No printer. 1 second here. Stream. What's a good one? So, here we go. We can do this. So recently, very recently, the U.S. Tested a Minuteman III ballistic missile. It's an intercontinental ballistic missile. They are stored in silos throughout the Midwest, primarily in North Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, and some in Colorado. Second. So we periodically test these missiles. They actually take a missile out of a silo, they disassemble it, and they reassemble it. They take it to California, and they reassemble it. So you didn't have a good relationship with her. It's just that you get older when you take a few actions. If you get as you get tired earlier. Okay. No, we have a good relationship with her. No, our relationship with her is good. So the U.S. tested a Minuteman III. The test failed, actually. So there was an anomaly, and they command detonated the missile. They self-destructed it because it something had happened to it. It'd gone off course or whatever. Not clear what happened to it. Russia also recently tested a ballistic missile that also failed. I believe it was a Satan II. Interesting. So you chose not to sacrifice her. Yes, I chose not to. I chose to do it myself. Yeah. When we test these weapons, so there's an Air Force base I think it's a Space Force base now in California, Vandenberg Air Force Base, where they have a silo. They'll drop these weapons into that silo and they'll launch them from the silo. They will launch them using the ground-based command posts that are identical to the launch control facilities out in the actual missile fields. They can also launch them from Navy E6 E6 Mercuries, which are flying command posts that can be used to command nuclear forces, or from the Air Force's E4Bs, which are the same thing. They're also flying command posts that can be used to launch weapons directly. They can actually directly connect via radio link to Minuteman missile silos and launch them directly from those planes. They could also send commands to bombers, and they can even trail a long antenna and send very low frequency messages to submarines at depth. They could also send very low frequency messages to silos as well. Minuteman missile silos have multiple antennas. They have the high frequency antennas. They have one high. Each LLC has a high frequency antenna that's above ground, fixed antenna. That's their main link to get emergency action messages, which are commands for what they should be doing. They also have an antenna underground that will telescope up, that will extend up from the ground. So if the main antenna gets destroyed, they have a hardened underground antenna, can be raised after, if they get attacked and that main antenna is destroyed. And they have below ground a very low frequency antenna that's only one way, but it can get very low frequency messages. That's a very slow way to get messages. They only can get messages at like 200 to 300 words per minute, so it takes a very long time to get messages. But it's underground. It's completely underground. And very low frequency messages are almost impossible to jam. So you can't jam them. They can be sent for extremely long distances. They'll travel through the earth. They'll travel through water. So it's a very reliable long range way to send messages. When we test these missiles, sometimes we put in an actual reentry vehicle, and we will put in sensors to ensure the reentry vehicle actually will implode a bomb properly. So a nuclear weapon, the way a nuclear weapon works is most of our nuclear weapons are of this design at the top of the screen, the Teller Ulam design, where you will have a primary, which is generally a plutonium core with a series of explosive lenses around it that will implode that plutonium core in on itself and start fission, and will start the secondary. The secondary is just caused by the radiation, is set off by the radiation from the first nuclear weapon. This all happens in nanoseconds. But when they test these, they will put a false core inside, and they have a sensor that will detect and see if the core actually implodes properly. Let me see what this is. Yeah. So it's called an LSO sensor. It's it's a small crystal that's wrapped in a gold binding to prevent light from getting through. And this crystal has a special property. It will become luminescent if it's put under pressure. So if it implodes properly, they have a wire that will detect the light coming from this crystal if it gets properly imploded. The difference between a rocket and missile is the recipient. Yeah. Generally, we use the term rocket to describe something that's just a missile is generally considered a weapon, or something intended or unintended to destroy things, whereas a rocket generally isn't goal isn't explicitly to destroy things. Rocket can be used interchangeably, but missile implies something's being destroyed. Or rocket can be like a rocket carrying satellites or astronauts, or it can be a rocket carrying weapons. Though generally we use missile to describe a weapon. So yeah, this crystal will compress and give off light. It will get detected by sensor. They'll have telemetry. They'll have something that'll send out telemetry saying what's happening. So that's how they determine whether or not the implosion happened correctly. And we'll launch these weapons and we'll set them to implode a certain height above the water. We usually launch them from Vandenberg on the Californian coast, and we'll launch them west, in this case towards Kwajalein Atoll. That's where we usually launch them. So it'll implode just before it's, just where it's supposed to. They can be programmed to detonate near their surface. They can be programmed to detonate several hundred meters in the air, or even in space. But this detonation, they have a sensor that will determine whether or not the implosion was sufficient to cause a fission reaction if there had been a plutonium or uranium core. And that's what this looks like. Because this reentry vehicle is going so fast, this explosion looks like a shower, because they still have the momentum, the forward momentum. They're going like Mach 20 at this point. So even though it's detonating at this point, it's actually all the components of the weapon and the reentry vehicle are all spreading out like a fan. Looks really cool. But yeah, we attempted to test a Minuteman, I believe it was last week, and it failed. Yep. So that'll be our fact. Thank you. Let's get back to it. Shall we? Welcome back. Ow. Thank you, man. The dino dance. I love the dino dance emote. That's one of my favorite. Got him. That's one of my favorite Twitch global emotes. It's such a good emote. Physically, I wish I had answers. I wish I could approach a scientist about this without becoming a research experiment. But I prefer to keep quiet at my doctor's visits. I can't risk being locked away or altered in some permanent way. I want to have a family to take care of. Is this why people think you're creepy? Because you have the gift? People think I'm creepy? But it's alright. People say all kinds of things. Just to be patient and persistent. And I know eventually they'll understand that I can be a comforting presence in their lives, not a creepy one. Poor guy. Maybe if I grew a thicker beard, people would trust me more, or maybe I should get a cool jacket? Let's see. Can't express how much of a relief it is to finally meet somebody else like me. Does Janie know? No, I don't believe there should be secrets between man and wife. So I'll have to tell her one day. There hasn't been a good time yet. Building a life in Scarlet Hollow has been a difficult process. And the last thing I need to do is add the stress of her husband being some kind of circus act. Tulip, on the other hand, I'm starting to have my suspicions that she might share this gift. There have been some particularly nasty rats in the church lately, and she said some things that led me to believe she might be able to understand them. He's interrupted by the sound of snapping twig and a high-pitched giggle, partially muffled by the underbrush on the edge of the property. Tulip, come out of there. You know you're not supposed to play in the woods. Tulip glances back in the woods, quiet. She hesitates. Tulip, are you going to be good? Or are we going to have to skip story time tonight? I'll be good. You don't have to skip story time. I won't go to the woods. I promise. I know you won't, Tulip. Because you know it's too dangerous for little girls in there. Why don't you help Mama with the alpacas? It's just about time they got fed. You can give them hay. Tulip smiles broadly, excited by the prospect. Hurries off. Sorry, I had to have a firm parenting moment just then. She's been trying to run off into the woods a lot lately, and it's really dangerous, even for adults. There's a massive trap stump not too far past trees, but it must be at least 50 years old, so it's all grown over and looks like it's part of the landscape. But if you accidentally walk on it, you might find yourself falling into a deep mound of rusty cans and broken glass. Oh, Fitness Lake. Stella told me about that. So the priest talks to animals? I did not know that. Yeah, the priest can talk to animals. Yep. I wonder if you only get this if you also have, yeah, I bet you only get this if you select the talk to animals skill. Fitness Lake. That's an accurate name. I wonder if Tulip would stay away if I started calling it that. Or would it only make it sound more alluring? How big of a trash dump are we talking? Would a weekend of hard work clear it out? Maybe, if you had a construction equipment and a team of professionals. It's a big area. I have no idea how deep it goes. In the meantime, I'm just making sure Tulip does not go near it. What were you saying about the church rats? Ah yes, the rats. So, you and I are used to this sort of chatter we hear from wildlife. Usually nothing that needs to be paid attention to. These rats, there's something so sinister about them. And they must be huge judging the sound of them scurrying around in there. Tulip had never shown any evidence of the ability before. She never responded to the alpacas or engaged in conversations with birds. In retrospect, she could have just been hiding it. The way I did growing up. Because I know she's been talking to the rats. She calls them her friends. She's been drawing all these pictures of them. Really ghastly things. Try to bring it up with her, but she gets this little smile and doesn't say a word. It's like it's her fun little secret. It's all innocent enough in the grand scheme of things, but I'm pretty sure they also live out in the trash heap. And ever since she started talking about her friends, she's been trying to sneak out there. Concerned she's gonna get hurt or catch some kind of disease. What have they been saying? They like to try to goad me into crying or becoming depressed. They watch me through the unseen holes and make fun of me and try to figure out how to press my buttons. It's annoying, but easy enough to block out, especially when I'm praying. I don't think they're a good influence on Tulip. She's got quiet and secretive ever since she started talking to them. I need to think what they'd say to hear. I need to think what they'd say to her when I'm not around. Have you actually seen them? No, but I don't need to. I lived in a dorm that had rats once. You never see them, but the church has all signs of infestation. There's no mistaking the sounds of little creatures stamping through the walls. I left out some humane rat traps, but they're too smart for them. All it's done is waste peanut butter. And I caught a possum in one. Poor thing. Possums are never very bright, but at least they got a big scoop of peanut butter out of the ordeal. You're sure they're rats? I think so. Pastor shifts uncomfortably for a moment. Hope so. Has Janie heard him? She's not in the church very often. She's usually in town doing her job until late. And we spend our evenings in-house. It's just me and Tulip there all day. I meant before that you won't be able to visit all the places because you got older. I got you. Because you get tired more easily? Okay, gotcha. Janie knows Tulip made a strange little friend, but thinks it's an imagination game. I was hoping I'd sort out the rats issue before she gets suspicious. They're persistent, so I may have to hire an exterminator if I can get the money for one. hope it doesn't come to that. This is really creepy. Have you tried befriending them? Is there something I could do to help? Maybe I could try talking to them. That'd be lovely. I certainly appreciate a helping hand. I don't want to be too much of a bother, and you should probably finish looking for your missing friend first, but I'll be around. At the corner of the eye, you see Anika and Avery walking back. The two of you. You must have finished talking to Janie. Janie says she hadn't seen Stella either, so we'd better get going. Thanks for suggesting we head up here, Timo. We had to feed the alpacas. They're so cute and soft. It was awesome. And Janie said she'll come by the diner with cookies for the miners, and a few extra for me, of course. I hope your talk with the pastor went well. Yes, we had a great conversation. I appreciate you all stopping by, even if it wasn't under the best circumstances. I'll let you be on your way. I hope Stella turns up soon. I'll put some good prayers in with the big man. Alright, thanks. See ya. Anika and Avery start back down the path to town. You follow. Smallest church in Scarlet Hollow. So what was that all about? He seemed pretty insistent on talking to you alone. He didn't say anything weird, did he? We'll talk about Tulip. Tulip apparently made some weird imaginary friends. We might want to check in on it later. Kids make up imaginary friends all the time. Pastor Daniel says there's a rat infestation in the church, and the rats are her friends. I don't know, it seemed weird. Should have known I'd have to deal with a spooky kid at some point. Okay, as much as I hate going back there, I guess that's a loose lead. If we don't have anything else to investigate once we found Stella and Nika pauses. Once we checked out the clinic, then maybe we can look around the church. Sounds like a plan. Let's not get too distracted until we find Stella, though. Where to next? We don't want to go to the cops. Mines. Check the diner. Oscar. Where? Screw the cops, they're useless. The diner? Let's check the diner. Good idea. Folks tend to congregate there. Maybe we'll run into someone who's seen Stella. Here's hoping Winnie doesn't try to rope me into working early. Sorry, I had to sneeze. It feels like you walked into a private meeting. The back booth is full of miners, and they're having what it seems to be an intense discussion. Their expression gravely serious. What's going on? There's a strike up at the mines, and they made the diner their base of operations. When you asked for the morning off, I didn't think you'd be showing up with friends. Sorry, Aunt Winnie. Stella's gone missing, and I've been helping these two track her down. You haven't seen her, have you? Don't you apologize now. And I can't say I have. Should I be worried about her? I hope not. We're not interrupting anything there, are we? Of course not. Any paying customer is welcome, as long as you're not about to step on anybody's toes or cause a fuss. Miners in the back are too engaged in the conversation to notice you entered, and instead of speaking in their hushed voices, argued with each other loudly enough for you to easily overhear. Sure, the shift schedule is tough, and sure, we don't get enough time off for me to see my family as often as I like, but this is the best job I can get right now. Listen, kid, you're only a year or two into this gig. Trust me, the longer it goes on, the more it sucks the life out of you. At first, you're just unhappy, but you think you can weather it until you find something better. Paycheck is a paycheck, I get it. But the next thing you know, you've lost years of your life to a company that doesn't give a solitary shit about you, that uses up every free second it could suck out of its workers and pays us just enough to survive, but not so much that we can ever save enough to get out of this, to get the hell out. Zax, we could get fired for this. I really need the paycheck. My sister needs the paycheck. I'm the only reason she can afford her tuition right now. I can't get fired. And this job still has its perks, like the company housing. I can't afford my own place and send money back home. I don't know where I would live if I didn't have this job. Right, company housing. How generous of the big boss to put you up in company-owned shack that ain't had proper maintenance done in decades. You know she uses that house as an excuse to pay us less. And the company housing means almost nobody in this whole damn town owns the place they live. It's the why the Scarlets can keep getting away with whatever they want. Zax, we don't have the numbers, man. You know this is risky. Riskier than most of us can afford. We would have the numbers if y'all would stand with me and not let management scare tactics get to you. It's not the scare tactics. People like her now. That woman ran into a collapsing coal mine and saved 3 children from being buried alive. I feel you, I really do. How are we supposed to organize a strike against a town hero? You're trying to tell me that the mine collapse less than 2 days ago is why you don't want to strike? It's bad time, Zax. It's always a bad time, Baker. It doesn't matter whose name is on the deed for the place. Without us, there is no mine. We've got him against the ropes. You can't back down now, or they'll come out swinging. Let's see. Weighing on a Baker situation. Hey, have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The miners turn towards the doorway, all eyes glaring at you in unison. The YouTuber? We ain't seen her. Harrison's voice dropped to a barely audible mumble. I hope she's okay. Are none of you going to comment on how old I am? Ghost stole years of my life last night. We're doing important work now. Go bother someone else with your Halloween prank. What if he's actually telling the truth? Come on, Harrison. All of us losers are the only ghosts in the town now. We won't be losers for long if we just band together and make this moment count. Everyone should join the strike. Unite with your fellow working. Don't pressure people. Zax, if they don't want to strike, they don't have to. I'm not gonna weigh in. So about the strike. We all know who you're related to, kid. Word travels fast. I'll be damned if we talk business in front of you. Let's see. Do you think I like? No. I don't actually have a horse in this race. I'm not a snitch. You get that. We can just take you at your word, right? Trust can only go so far. No. Timo's cool. I wouldn't hang around him if he wasn't. You can't help who you can't help who you're related to, right? No, I suppose not. That doesn't mean we have to trust everyone who stumbles into town. No offense, but your friendship doesn't mean much, Diner Kid. You're friends with everybody, even that Julius freak. Diner Kid, I know you know Avery's name. If I ever hear you call him that again, sorry, Miss Winnie, it won't happen again. Don't apologize to me. Sorry, Avery. I didn't mean to be so dismissive. Y'all are right, though. I'm pretty friendly with most people in town. My friendliness and ability to get along with anybody means I can't vouch for you. I guess that's that. Sorry, Timo. Guess we should get going. Gonna take a shower, but I'll be back. Alrighty. We'll be here. We'll be here for a while, I think. Still no sign of Stella. Oh. Before you can suggest your next move, you start to feel woozy. Spots form on the edge of your vision. Your legs suddenly feel unstable. Your body is sending you clear signals of exhaustion. And then it passes. Still, it probably won't be long before your body needs a chance to rest. You should probably choose your next move wisely. Okay, let's go to get tea. I'm supposed to get tea with your mom today. Maybe she'll have some ideas. Sure, we can humor her. She's probably going to give you some rocks or a bundle of herbs for protection, which might actually work. Who knows? Guess there's only one way to find out. Let's do it. The bells in the general storm chime welcomingly. As the three of you enter. Kanika, there you are. You were supposed to stay in bed today, remember? And hello, you two. Hope you're both recovered from last night's fiasco. Sorry, Mom. It's just Stella's missing and Stella can take care of yourself. Unlike you. You need bed rest and lots of fluids. You don't need to go running around town spreading that cold of yours. Go on. Get up to bed. I'll be up in a minute with some more tea. Thought you had some kind of important stuff to talk to Tim about. Really feeling okay. I want to hear what you wanted to say to him. I'll just be doing a tea reading. Haven't those always bored you to tears? Okay, you're right. I'm not feeling well. I should go lie down. Bye, Tima. Nika turns and heads towards the stairs without saying another word. Something isn't right here, but it's hard to put it into words or pin it down into thoughts. And I'm so sorry to be a bad host, Avery, but I was hoping Tim and I can do our reading in private. I'm sure Winnie needs help at the diner. Oh, you're right. I've totally left her there on our own today. Not by me. I wouldn't want to mess up your tea vibes. I'm sure those leaves are very particular. Oh, but before I go, I wanted to ask, are you a witch? As flattered as I am that you think I'm magical, I'm just an old lady who likes tea and has a few unusual hobbies. Look, I'm just saying, doing stuff like reading tea leaves is pretty witchy as far as I'm concerned, but I won't push it. Though, just so you know, if you are a witch, you can totally tell us. We'd be cool about it. I'll leave you to your not supernatural private tea leaf reading. We'll catch up tomorrow, Tima. They make their way out to the general store, disappearing down the street in the direction of the diner. Shall we? Sybil motions toward the tea room. Please have a seat. I'll bring you a fresh cup. You take the seat at the table at the edge of the room. It's dark here. Only a sliver of sunlight able to filter through the heavy curtains, supplemented by the bright grow lights on the plants in the corner. Sybil joins you at the table, places a cup in front of you. It smells light and citrusy, with an undercurrent of decaying earth. It's the same tea you sampled with Avery at the diner on Tuesday. I'll be able to do the reading once you're done. Until then, how about we just chat? You take the tea, drink the tea, it's good for you. You take the tea, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthiness at its core, like you've just taken a mouthful of dirt. The aftertaste combines the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal, and you find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. Spoiler? Okay, I'm not going to read it if it's spoiler. Yeah, no spoilers. No spoilers, please. Mythical, soothing beyond what you would expect out of ordinary tea. There must be something magical at work in the blend. So how did you wind up in Scarlet Hollow? Oh, my family's been in these hills for a long time. That's how I know so much of the local flora. Everything I've learned was handed down from generations of hillfolk. There hasn't always been a reliable doctor up here, especially not one most folks could afford. They have to figure out their own medicine. Okay. Oh wow, there's a lot. The other day you promised to tell me, what was it? Unsavory tales of my mom's youth? I most certainly did, though I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatic effect. I'm proud to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter what age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Verlaine was a lot like your great-grandmother, Edwardine, which is to say, she was not a very kind woman, similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. But your mother wasn't a shrinking violet either. She was just as stubborn as any other Scarlet, so her family choosing her as their punching bag made her into quite the rebel. Were Verlaine and my mother raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother? Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young, too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. She didn't survive the labor. What do you know about my grandma? I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you. I think there were two in that generation. The eldest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother. I feel like I know a lot about the women in my family, but what about the men? Do they even exist? I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. Her husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. Might have been Stuart or something just as forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenage fling that ended once your grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar for Vivian, though she was much older, and I believe she was the one who ended it. What with the skipping town and all. What happened when my mom found out she was pregnant? She came to me for advice. She was distraught. It was like she had been handed a death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what would happen to her own mother. Maybe it was something else. But she seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course. But she was born in wedlock. So I assume your mother's worries had something to do with religion? Though the Scarlets weren't particularly religious as far as I know. But the way Vivian was that night, she came to me. It stuck in my mind. It's always had me wondering, what was it about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby? What's with all the mystery and ritual? If you have something to tell me, just come out with it. I'll need your tea leaves first. I have pieces of the puzzle, but the tea leaves should help to give me the full picture. You close your eyes and take another sip, and then another. It's delightful. Tea's gone before you know it. In the small cup, save for what's left of the rehydrated leaves coating the bottom. Unless you're mistaken, teas also help with your condition, at least a little bit. You still feel aged and worn, but you're a little less tired and a little mentally sharper than you were a few minutes ago. Oh good. Glad you found the tea palatable enough to drink. It should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. Now, on to business. Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge. Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that can fit in the bottom of a cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, difficulty, and the hourglass ties it all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming. Whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure, but we may, at the very least, be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here. Cat. An enemy lurking in plain sight. Cat would be Tabitha, Cat would be Wayne, Cat would be Stella. I almost would say the cat is an enemy, though. It's not a spoiler for you to run. It's already passed, but it's still a spoiler, even if it's difficult to find out. Oh, okay. You had another tea in this city earlier. Only if you do a run without having tea at dinner. You can refuse to have the tea with her, or just don't drink the tea? See. Okay, I got you. Let's do the like to see. I'm sure it wouldn't make much sense to most people. It probably just looks like a confusing mess of old leaves, but you're free to take a look. You take the cup, staring down at it. It's just leaves. There's no patterns, nothing swimming together, and the dregs of your tea give any warnings of premonitions. After a long moment, Sybil takes the cup back from you. Hope that settles your curiosity. Don't worry. If you couldn't make any sense of it, it takes years to learn the sort of thing, even for someone with your propensities. She winks conspiratorially. Let's see, the cat. An enemy. Oh, I know you're not the cat. I mean, Stella ties everything together. As just no, Tabitha wasn't there for everything. Tabitha was there for every bad thing that's happened to us. Let's keep it light. Actually, that's she probably wouldn't like that. I don't think it's Pastor Daniel. I don't think it's Dr. Kelly. Let's keep it light. Everyone seems to know more than they say. Yes. Oh, the cat's gotta be Pixel, or maybe Frou-Frou. Those are the only two cats I know. The cat isn't a literal cat, like I said. It's a symbol for an enemy lurking in plain sight. Probably a human enemy, but almost certainly not a cat. You don't have to figure out the answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. Just be on guard and keep vigilant that someone close to you isn't to be trusted. We know from the ditchlings that something terrible is coming your way, and it's likely that's connecting some hidden enemy. Perhaps we can try to counteract what might be planned for you. Judging by what you told me last night, those stone carvings, seals, whatever you want to call them, I think they're likely have something to do with this. Until the cat reveals itself, it seems like your best course of action is to seek these carvings out, piece together what you can from the visions, and arm yourself with information. Have you sensed any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another? Your thoughts drift to the door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her there. What's important is now finding out what's hidden inside the clinic. I think I felt another in the clinic. Good. If you can find your way inside and uncover another stone, I can give you a leg up on your adversary. You'll just have to be careful to avoid the doctor. Something tells me she won't take too kindly to you sniffing around her clinic. I think that's all the help I can offer. Hope this conversation's been illuminating, even if it's just brought up more questions than given any clear answers. You helped last night. Why don't you come with me? I may have been able to see through that spirit's illusions. I'm not some kind of all-powerful entity. I'm an old woman. I have trouble with my knees, and my eyesight isn't what it used to be. In most situations, I'd be more a liability than a helpful companion. Imagine if I'd been in those mines with you. Some use I'd be, struggling to climb over rocks and ladders and throwing my back out from all the crouching. That's it. Wasn't helping at all. All you did was look at some leaves and tell me to go put myself in danger. It's not indicter. Thanks. I'll let you know if I find anything. Glad to hear it. I hope it all goes well. I wish you luck. Hopefully you won't need it. Thank you again for humoring an old lady and stopping by for a chat. With a small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table, and you're escorted back to the door. And remember to be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce, and merely being ready for it might not be enough. Sybil closes the door to the tea room. The bells of the door strangely flatten in the stale air. The nearly empty general store. Ghosts are real. Just thought you should know. Yeah, I know. I've seen tons of videos of ghosts doing stuff on the internet. I'm not 12. I'm old now. Thanks for noticing. Didn't you always look like that? Oh, Miles. Is your mom a witch? Wouldn't you like to know? Look, a lot of weird stuff is going on around town. I feel like a witch could be super helpful. So if she is one, thought she just helped you. You're grown. Take care of your own self. So Kanika has a cold, huh? That's what she says. She's just trying to get out of work again. Like, I don't have anything else better to do. I don't have anything better to do all week while she sits in her room watching anime. Says the guy in Goku's pants. Everybody knows Dragon Ball is good anime. She watches the trashy shit. You see any weird rocks around town? Yeah. You. He smirks. Got him. Clearly this was a very sick burn. And you should feel bested by his wit. You're not going anywhere before checking in on Kanika. You make your way upstairs. Honk. Mom, I really don't need any more tea. I think I'm just gonna lie down for a while. I'm not your mom. Oh, Tima, what's up? Let's see. You don't have to listen to your mom, you know. Let's see. I'm going to the clinic. I was hoping you would join me. Sorry, Tima. My mom's right. I'm exhausted. I probably shouldn't push it, or I'll wind up worse off tomorrow. It looks like you're on your own. You make your way out of the general store and down the road to the clinic. You make your way up the familiar hill, past the rows of ragged houses that make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. It isn't long before you find yourself outside Dr. Kelly's clinic, its secrets enticing you to find a way in. Even at the bottom of the hill, you can already feel the presence. It's like a magnet has been fixed on your ribcage, gently tugging you forward, guiding you towards whatever emits this compulsive frequency. Let's see, let's talk to the animals. You quickly glance around, eyes trained on the underbrush. Flat of striped tails grabs your eye immediately. Raccoon! Can I help you, Buster? Hey there. Hey there. If you were trying to break into that house at the top of the hill, how would you get in? What? Just because I got little hands and go through people's trash, I'm supposed to know how to break into places? There's a hill that'll take you right up to the big flat roof thing. Sometimes the humans leave the windows open up there when I go inside. Don't tell them, okay? I like to sleep on the big piles of clothes. It's just one of my few joys in life. What else do you play? I've been playing through a bunch of these style of games. So on Saturdays, I usually do stuff like this. But I play Phasmophobia. I play Risk of Rain 2. I play some simulators. I play a sub simulator and a tank simulator. Tank simulator is called Gunner Heat PC. I play a sub simulator called Cold Waters. But yeah, on Saturdays I usually play story games. I also play Sea of Thieves. Um, yeah, yeah. So Saturdays are mainly for story games, and then weekdays are mainly for everything else. He leaves as you turn back to look at the clinic. A dull throb sets into your knees. There's no way you're going to be able to do that. You have to, you have your way in. You've aged at least a decade since last night. You should see if Dr. Kelly can give you a checkup. I'm not sure which one to do. Should we do the basement window? Or the checkup? I'm gonna do the checkup. Because I feel like there's no way we're not gonna get caught. If we have a legitimate reason to be there. You've aged at least a decade in the past day. It's gotta be medical anomaly, right? Maybe you could see if Dr. Kelly will give you a checkup to figure out a way to explore the rest of the clinic. You open the door of the clinic. It creaks loudly on its hinges. The interior feels surprisingly modern to the exterior, though you can catch a glimpse of ornate bones of the building peeking through the decorative molding and overly complicated banister lining the stairway. You can feel that odd sensation again, the nagging pull of whatever it was you wanted to, of whatever that was you wanted to find it. You're here now, and it knows you're here, and it knows exactly what it is. Another stone carving, eager to show you its secrets. But before you can drag too far to the clinic, Dr. Kelly puts aside her paperwork and makes her way down the hall. Hello, can I help? What the hell happened to you? You look like you've aged at least a decade since last night. You wouldn't believe me if I told you, but I think I need to see a doctor. You wouldn't believe me if I told you, but I think I need to see a doctor. Sure, looks like you do. Good you came. The exam room is just to your right. The doctor directs you down the hallway, and you follow her into the clinic's exam room. I'm going to start with some general diagnostics, but I'd like to do some blood work, if you're amenable to that. She presses the cold metal stethoscope to your chest. Thank you, Mian. Breathe in, breathe out. Yeah. Have you heard from Stella? No one knows where she is. Dr. Kelly briefly removes the stethoscope from your chest. Stella's missing? This is the first I'm hearing about it. I haven't seen her. I'll make sure to check with Reese. I know he hears from her pretty frequently. Let's finish this up first. She places the stethoscope on your chest. Let's let the doctor work. You quietly let Dr. Kelly work. Have you always had a heart murmur? No doctor has ever said you had a heart murmur. Before you can answer, she attaches a blood pressure cuff to your arm, inflating it with a few quick pumps of the bulb. The ends of your fingers tingle numbly as the cuff constricts. I have a heart murmur? Is that bad? I have a heart murmur? Is that bad? So it's new. Suppose you could have developed it at any point since your last checkup, but it's something that happens with age. Though developing one overnight, along with new wrinkles and gray hair, that is not something that happens. The pressure on your arm finally releases. Blood rushes back in your fingertips. Your blood pressure is definitely higher than someone I expect of your age. It's not what I would call a safe range, but it's manageable. Let me know if you feel any pain. Doctor leans over, using her fingers to prod your abdomen. She steadies you with a gentle hand on your shoulder. Let's see. I'd like to know more about the clinic. Well, it was an old hospital during the Civil War. Ah, then one of those clean air clinics. Then around the time of the collapse, it was converted back into a hospital. But it lost most of its funding as people left town, and now it's just a doctor's office, with an astronomical heating bill. All the massive windows, glass doors make this in ice spots in the winter. There were... Sounds like it'd be a ghost city. Sounds like it'd be a ghost city. Ever seen any? No. Neither's Reese. So don't try to weasel your way into seeing him again under the guise of asking if he's seen any dead soldiers or miners or whatever. What happened here after the Shaw mine? I suppose the only thing that average residents of the Holler might... I suppose the only thing I know that the average residents of the Holler might not is the collapse was the reason this was converted into a proper hospital. Okay. The wounded were brought here for their beds and medical supplies that pushed out the last dregs of the clean air knockers. Nobody thought the air around here was that clean after the coal mine collapse filled it with ash, and the theory was already on its way out at the point. If there's a big stone carving hidden somewhere in the clinic, where'd that be? Okay, I don't even know what your angle could be with this one. I've never seen any big stone carvings around here, and of course, I wouldn't know where someone would hide something like that. Are you trying to get a tour from me or something? I'm not a tour guide. After this, I'll need to re-sterilize this room, and then I've got paperwork to do for the rest of the day. I'm not taking out time out of my schedule to show you around. You have something against me? When I first showed up, you were kind of scary, and you still are. The doctor sighs, and you feel the jabs to your torso get a little softer. Yeah, people tell me that. I'm a brusque person. It's just part of who I am. I don't mean to come off so rude. Plus, Stella and Kadika showing up with you in tow, I would have to be a tough parent and turn you all away, and I hate to do that. It probably made me even pricklier than I needed to be. In my defense, I'm just being protective. Reese's health is at a difficult point, and possibly will be for the rest of his life. It means I have to be more strict than I'd like to be. I'm sorry I let that impact the way I've spoken to you. I'll try to be more thoughtful. I'm interested in your thoughts on townfolk. We really don't need to do small talk. Let's see, did you know my mom well? What did you think of Perlane? It's about Sybil. Do you know Sybil well? Small talk it is then. I know her as well as anybody else. She's another resident of Scarlet Hollow who should really come to see me more often, but she has her own ideas on health. She seems to think drinking a gallon of tea a day will grant her immortality. I'm sure I'll be seeing more of her when she realizes that's not the case. Do you know my mom well? I did. We were friends growing up. She was sarcastic, but nice. I like that about her. A hell of a lot more pleasant to be around than her sister. What did you think about Perlane? Vivi and I used to joke she was the evil twin, though I'm not sure you can call it a joke if it were true. Sorry, I really shouldn't speak ill of the dead. You know any of the history about my family? Of course I do. Folks here learn all the important myths about your family. The whole bootstraps thing with Silas, the founding of the town by the mighty Andrew J. Scarlet, and of course the big collapse and the evil Charles Shaw who gets all the blame. Your family is a big deal in this town, and of course I know about them, only as much as anyone else though. I'm not really into local history. So, have you noticed any ditchlings yet? Maybe I've seen some weird things outside the windows. I don't know what they are. I just won't jump to any conclusions, but there's definitely some weird stuff going around town that defies logic. You're proof enough of that. Let's see. How my abs looking? Not bad, right? Can't say I noticed. I'm not just palpitating you for fun. my job, and I take it seriously. I like to check your lungs. Can you breathe into this for me? Make sure you keep a tight seal on it. You place the mouthpiece against your lips. Now blow out hard and keep until you're out of air, okay? You do your best. You can tell it's a pitiful attempt. Okay. Yeah, that's what I respect given everything else. Again, I don't have data from before, but judging by your age and what I'm able to tell from a quick once over, it looks like you're the equivalent of at least a decade or older. And not a good decade. I'm guessing the blood work is going to show about the same. She goes to a drawer and retrieves a needle. Quietly accept your fate. You'll barely feel it, I promise. She inserts the needle. She was wrong. You definitely feel it. But it doesn't last long. The needle slides back out quickly, and she puts the cotton ball on the tiny hole in your skin, pasting a band-aid over the top, sealing your vital juices. See there. There, see? That's all we needed to do. Not bad at all. Alright, that's all we can do for now. I'll make sure to notify you when I get the results, and I'll send them to your GP. You do have a regular doctor back at home, right? Of course I do. Good. They're in for a shock when you get back home. That's for sure. Juices. Yes, have to keep our vital juices in. Our precious bodily fluids. Miho, I hope you're doing well. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well, friendo.
Dang, nobles. Ah, coming. I'm coming. I'm gonna get ya.
No.
Nom, 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 nom. Nom? Nom?
Go away.
No, I don't wanna. But there's gravity. Gravity's pulling me.
Gravity goes to the left?
It does. Don't you know science, Miho?
Gravity.
No.
Goes to the left. It's science. Welcome in. You're free to go. You know how to find the door. All right, she's sterilizing the room. Got the dino dancing. She starts busying herself with cleaning up her equipment. She'll be distracted for at least a few minutes. Antagonistic doctor. Roleplay ASMR. Doing good? Lurkies? That listen to Tim's audiobook. I hope you enjoy. This game has been a lot of fun. It's been a very interesting game too. Good. Your appointment is done and you're free to explore as you please. Or rather, you're free to explore as you please. You've been caught by the pull of the object, an overwhelming curiosity, guiding you around a corner towards a dark doorway under the stairs. Then left ajar, as if inviting you to enter. Oh no. Tima? He squints, seeming unsure whether you're the same person he met yesterday. What are you doing in the morgue? What are you doing in the morgue? Like, hi, a vampire. What are you doing in the morgue? Honestly. What are you doing in the morgue? I'm sure it looks weird. It's not like I expected anyone to come down here. It was just, you know, practicing. A rehearsal, if you will. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of weird. I see being among the dead. Yeah, rehearsal, you say? Good one. His words seem distant to you. The tugging is strong down here. You can almost feel yourself slipping into a trance, and your eyes wander to the back of the wall of the morgue. You need to see what's back there. You touch the wall. It feels disappointingly solid under your palms. Hey, are you okay? You feel Reed's hand generally shake your shoulder for a moment. The thing on the other side of the blank white wall loosens its pull on you. You kind of look possessed there for a second. You good? Make him understand. Use your words. Don't let this fervor consume you. Be persistent in the moment. You inhale deeply and take in your surroundings. You can't help but notice that one of the body's storage drawers is labeled Perlane Scarlet. Let's see. The Mayans had a stone carving the other night, as did Oscar's house yesterday. They've been giving me visions, and I can sense one on the other side of this wall. I need to see it. Reese glances back at the wall. You're really serious, aren't you, Tima? This is probably a bad idea, but if you really need to get in there, I'm pretty sure there's an emergency axe somewhere upstairs. I just need to get the doc out of our hair. Should take 2 seconds. Get the doc out of her hair? Yeah, if I say I'm sick and need something, she'll drop whatever she's doing and do it for me. Surefire a way to get her out of the house. And most of the time, it's true anyways. Let's see. How'd you learn that little trick? When you're a teenager whose doctor mom won't leave you alone for 2 seconds, you learn how to make it happen. Thanks for understanding. Don't mention it. If there's anything I can do, actually useful, I'm happy to help. Be right back. He stride past you, his long legs moving swiftly. He seemed excited, his usual dour demeanor replaced with an uncharacteristic pep, when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing down walls. You hear his soft voice filtering through the open doorway at the top of the stairs. A hoarse and sickly edge added for the effect as he speaks to his mother. Hey, Mom. He coughs gently. Reese, I didn't know you were awake. I still feel like shit, but I think I can finally try to keep some juice down. Looks like we're all out, though. Really? I thought I just picked some up. I got an errand to run on Main Street anyways. I'll go pick some oranges. And some ginger ale, too. That'd be awesome. Sorry to ask. I know you're probably busy. It's no problem. It doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lie in bed until I get back. Thanks, Mom. I'll take it easy. You hear her footsteps moving down the hall. Then the front door opening and closing. It worked. The theatrical rasp has left his voice, excitement rising in its place. Come on up. We don't have long until she's back. You step out of the morgue. You relax. The extra space between you and the carving has weakened its hold on you, and with it, your desperation to claw your way through the wall and unveil it. It's one of these emergency fire axes. It should be pretty obvious wherever it is, though. I'm not sure where she'd be keeping it. I'll show you around. Let's try the doctor's office first. You make your way through the doorway of her now vacant office. I don't see an axe in here. He's right. A cursory glance reveals nothing but stacks of paper and cabinets for medical supplies. But something on the desk catches your eye. Some sort of records with your family name on them. Yeah, we're reading the files. Reese stops in the doorway, turning to watch you leaf through the documents. Find something interesting? There are family's death certificates. Perlane's death certificate. Cause of death, sleep apnea. Discovered by her daughter, Tabitha Chrysanthemum Scarlet. No autopsy performed. Tabitha's middle name is Chrysanthemum. I wonder who cursed her with that mouthful. I think it's pretty. Edwardine Scarlet, born April 9th, 1913. Died February 12th, 2003. Age 89. Cause of death, heart failure. Signed by her granddaughter, Perlane Scarlet. Got some interesting emotes. Pretty normal. Almost made it to 90. Died of normal old person illness. Enoch Scarlet, born September 9, 1887. Died August 20, 1957. Age 69. Nice. Cause of death? Fall from a cliff. Ooh. This one had a coroner's report attached. Organs sustained impact injuries, laceration to the neck, and body consistent with a fall from a great height. Oh, an actual autopsy. Looks ancient. You quickly flip through a few other Scarlets whose names aren't quite as familiar. Theodore Scarlet, born 1890, died 1918, age 28. Cause of death, crushed in mine collapse, body not recovered. Joseph Scarlet, born 1914, died 1944. Louis Scarlet, born 1920, died 1944. Both killed at Normandy in the line of duty. These must have been Aberdeen's brothers. Certificate of fatal death, infant boy Andrew Charles Scarlet, discovered April 3rd, 1945, stillbirth. Mother Edwardine Scarlet. Cause of death, complications during birth. No doctors present. Home buried. Alexandria Scarlet, born December 12, 1947, died 1957. Age 9, missing, presumed dead. Signed by Mother Edwardine Scarlet. Alexandria, the owner of the doll, so she went missing. Mary Bell Scarlet, born September 3, 1946, died October 30th, 1963, age 17. Cause of death, complications during childbirth. Signed by her mother, Edwardine Scarlet. Wow, that's a lot of kids to outlive. Reese's eyes flick up at the doorway, and a second later you hear the sound of the front door being turned. His hand on your shoulder before you can even register what's happening. You're pushed back out of view. Shit, I'm not supposed to be in here. We gotta hide. He hurries to the closet, pushing you inside. You slip past him and squash yourself into what little space is available. Reese is close on your heels. Let him in. Together you listen as the doctor makes her way to some other room deeper in the clinic. Silence of the tiny closet, every breath seems too loud. You'd expect the doctor, as if you would expect Dr. Kelly to hear from wherever she was across the house. We'd better wait a second just in case. You momentarily distracted from the danger by Reese's sudden closeness. It's almost strange to be here with him after the way he was hidden away for the first few days of your week in Scarlet Hollow. It made him into a seemingly mythical figure, a tragic artist wasting away in the basement guarded by a tyrannical warden. It was right in front of you. Flesh and blood, human being. One you could reach out and touch if you desired. Let's see. There's no one I'd rather be stuck in an enclosed space with. Reese tenses, his eyes dart to you. You can tell he's trembling slightly in the gloom, the air between you practically vibrating. You mean that? Sorry, was I being too forward? The door frame shakes with his nervous grip. No, it's just, people don't usually say things like that to me. You see a blush rise in his cheeks as he tears himself away from your gaze, trying to hide his face under the guise of staring out the office. Before either of you can continue, the doctor's footsteps once again echo down the hallway outside. Footsteps return, they get louder, approaching the office door, then stop. Much to your relief, she opens another door, leaving the main clinic. Okay, we're in the clear. Probably got only a minute or two before she comes back, so let's make this count. The medical supply room is probably your best bet. Any other room in the clinic likely have a fire access, probably a room full of chemicals. This way. He motions you down the hallway, slipping through the slightly ajar door of what you assume to be the supply room. Yes, there it is. Keys. Here we go. He rushes over the cabinet, that contains a bright red axe, pulling the glass door open. Your axe. Now we can. Reese pauses, turning to listen intently. That was the door from the house. Come on, if we hurry, we can get you back downstairs. I'll run interference. Get downstairs quick. You can hear her approaching. Now. Floorboards creaking in the hallway on the other side of the office. You follow Reese's instructions. Once again, carrying down the basement stairs, letting the pool of the stone carving guide you back to the morgue. Dr. Kelly's voice glitters down from above. Was right. We did already have juice. It was just in the back of the fridge. There's no harm in having extra. What are you doing in the clinic? Otto told you to go rest. I'm just gonna chill in the morgue. I got my speakers, so hear some weird sounds. It's just my music. I'll be sure to put in earbuds to drown all the industrial clanging you listen to. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of you spending time down there. It can't be good for your mental health to just hang out around refrigerators and corpses. You at least have a blanket this time? Yeah, I'll be fine. Just a change of scenery. My room feels too claustrophobic right now. Okay. I'll let you know when it's time for dinner. You hear the door close and the sound of Reese descending the stairs. Hey. You listen to music that sounds like a wall being broken down? Of course I do. I'm sad all the time. Glad my taste in music is finally coming in handy. It's exactly the cover we need. Smash time, yes. Stop asking questions. It's time to see what's on the other side of that wall. Okay, we can't even... Well now, yes? Have at it. You approach the far end of the morgue, practically singing through the air as you strike the wall. The first cut offers a surprising amount of resistance. There's some structure behind it. Some wood frame holding it in place, trying to stand between you and what waits on the other side. You stagger back from the massive hole and admire your effort. Holy shit. Splintered edge frames, a dark passage seemingly cut into the side of the cliff, cold seeping from a forgotten place and into an already frigid morgue. Reese coughs as he takes a better look at what lies beyond the wall. There's a whole hallway back there. Stale, thick air leaks from the hole, filling the morgue with an earthly mildew smell, like the room is slowly filling with dirt, and the stink of the grave-like room beyond comes even stronger. You step forward, and you climb into the hole. This is wild. I had no idea this was here. An entire hospital wing rotting away, decades behind some flimsy drywall. Why is this place hidden away? Someone doesn't want us to find these carvings. I wonder if it's whoever put them there, or if it's someone else. I'm probably gonna find out. I'm probably gonna pass out when we find this thing. Don't be too worried about me. I'll be fine. Thanks for the heads up. You step forward into the unknown. You don't bother to retrieve the axe. The final wall concealing the carving is rotting, water damage having eaten away the wood over the course of unknowable years. The planks nearly reduced to sawdust. You tear into it. Enoch, I thought you weren't going to come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. They said there was nothing they can do. I'll never use my legs again. Enoch, what am I gonna do? Calm down, Teddy. These doctors don't know what they're talking about. I've been doing my own research, and we found an alternative. We won't have to worry about anything from here on out, I promise. Hey, Teddy's one of the kids, right? I went to talk to the witch. Oh, witch? But that's nonsense. It's all right. It's all sorted. We're taking you home today, and everything will be resolved by this time next week. That's right, Doctor. At this point, I think it's safe to say his body was never recovered. Whoever it was who claimed to be Theodore, it wasn't him. He wasn't even paralyzed, as it turns out. Just some grifter trying to take advantage of the tragedy. Everything goes black. Your vision swims back into focus, and it takes a solid second or two to reorient yourself. You're in an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concerning curiosity. Hey, I was worried you slipped into a coma or something. You tore down that wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving and collapsed. I think you might have had some kind of seizure. I know you warned me this might happen, but are you okay? Wait, nothing spooky happened? The mountain didn't collapse on us? No ghosts? No, nothing. You just fell down and twitched a little, and you seemed stable. I carried you back here. That was a few hours ago. We don't want to flirt too much with them. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. No problem. Just figured you'd rather wake up in a bed than a musty hallway. Or the morgue. Does Doc Kelly know I'm here? No, I snuck you back in the house while she was busy with medical storage room. Figured you wouldn't want to come into the morgue. I had a vision. Like a hallucination? I have those sometimes, too. Used to have them a lot when I was a teen. I always just worried, they're always just weird little things. Like my hands would look wrong, or my neck would seem too long, or the room would feel smaller. At least the ones of, let's see. At least one of those death records is Mercury. I don't know if, I don't think Teddy died in the mine collapse. Let's see. Lily drill. At least one of those death records is murky. I don't think Teddy died in the mine collapse. My family has secrets. That's a weird thing to cover up, but not too surprising. An old family like that usually has at least a few secrets, but hopefully that's all ancient history. It's not like it's easy to cover up deaths these days, right? So what now? We might be stuck down here for a bit. The doc's all on a warpath up there. I refused to take my medicine, and she's not happy about it. I went ahead and blocked my door so she can't get down here. Now we just have to wait her out. You blocked the door? It was just a precaution. I don't think I can underestimate her at this point. For the first time in a while, I don't feel like roadkill. I'd rather keep it that way. I don't need her coming down and forcing any medicine on me, and doing God knows what to you to keep you quiet. Let's see. So what's your plan exactly? Good. Let's see. Heck yeah, sleepover. That's right. We could totally make the best of this whole situation. Maybe we can have a movie marathon. We'll wait until she's asleep, then we can at least get out of the basement. We can figure out what to do from there. Why didn't you take your medicine exactly? Because it makes me feel like shit. I was fine yesterday until the doc made me take my pills, and I was fine all day today. It's the harm in going a day without, right? And now I'm not taking it. It's like all these weird little memories have come rushing back. Bad memories. I don't think the doc's a good person. Wait, what? I don't think the doc's a good person. I don't think she wants me to be healthy. I don't think she wants me to see people. And now I'm waking up to that truth. I don't think there's any going back for either of us. Let's see. Let's find a distraction until it's safe to leave. Distraction sounds like a good idea. You can probably tell I'm getting a little jittery. It doesn't feel awful. It doesn't feel awful, to be honest. What if your mom doesn't fall asleep? You shouldn't call her my mom. As far as I'm concerned, she's forfeited that title. I don't even think I should call her doctor. She's just some woman now. Ooh, wow. Can't wait to be in the rear. I can't wait for her to be in the rear viewer the rest of my life. If she doesn't fall asleep by 10, we can figure something else out. These windows are supposedly shatterproof, which you always said was for burglars. Now I assume it was yet another way to keep me boxed in. Yeah, that seems like a terrible idea, especially for a basement. Like, what if there's a fire upstairs? You only have one way out, the stairs. Yeah, that's just a god-awful idea. But we could try to break them anyway. You could always draw me. If you're sure you're okay with sitting for a portrait, I'd love to draw you. There's a quality to drawing that's almost like catching memories, as sappy as that probably sounds. But this can be sort of a snapshot. The night my life turned around. It's definitely a memory worth holding on to. I'll get you a chair. He excitedly hurries across the room, pulling up a couple of chairs. You can see the difference in his energy now that he hasn't had his daily dose of poison. He's more talkative, less slouched. His long limbs, no longer perpetually tucked in at his sides. Nothing could go wrong. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about him not taking his meds. I wonder what his meds were. May I touch your face? Sure, Lesh. He places a gentle hand on your jaw, tilting your head slightly to the right. His fingertips are warm on your neck. The sensation of their light touch linger on your skin as he pulls away. Perfect. He pauses for a moment, locking eyes with yours, a palpable tension filling the room. Thanks for doing this. You have no idea how long it's been since I was able to have somebody sit for me. I think it's been since high school, probably. He starts sketching. The scraping of graphite is quick and controlled, long lines sweeping across the paper. He pauses for a brief moment, glancing away in thought. I'd wanted to draw you since we met yesterday. You have such striking bone structure. It makes for a truly unique face. Hope I can capture it. He glances up at you every couple seconds, then the pencil moving as he focuses his intense gaze on you. This is so much easier than usual. Sometimes getting basic forms down can feel like fishing through mud. This is like breathing, just flowing. He continues scratching out your portrait, the sound of pencil on paper louder and bolder as his strokes gain confidence. I just can't believe I let things go on for so long, but I've never questioned her. Let her completely isolate me. I'm fine right now. I'm more than fine. I feel great. It's almost like I'm not actually sick. You realize it isn't confidence that's deepening the line on the paper. It's anger, frustration. Let's see. Focus on the moment. The future is the future. The past is the past. Just exists with me, here and now. Let's see. You don't have to focus on what could have been. You have a new future ahead of you. I don't know that for sure. I don't know that for sure, though I'm not out of danger yet. Either... Well, sorry, I read that really weird. I don't know that for sure, though, and I'm not out of danger yet. Either I'm... The punctuation is killing me here, I'm sorry. I'm not out of danger yet, either. I'm still down here. The pencil snaps. Oh no, I'm sorry, I must be acting strange. Feel strange. Do my nails look longer to you? There's a knock on the window. Timma, don't get any closer to that thing. It's time you go home now. That voice. I know that voice. Is that who's been following you around? Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the supposedly shatterproof window. Enemies upstairs. Enemies outside. We're surrounded. Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe either. What do you mean? Wayne isn't gonna hurt you. He hasn't hurt anyone. Why the hell did he call you that thing? Why did he call you that thing? Because he's some kind of monster, and he wants me dead. Can't you feel that? The murderous intent is practically oozing out of him. But I'm not weak anymore. I can fight back. I don't have to cower in fear from people who want to hurt me. I can protect both of us, Tim. The window shatters. Oh. As Reese starts to tear at his clothes, the paint bubbles out from the canvas, his ghoulish figure peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls. Okay? Grab my hand. I'll pull you out. Oh. Leave us alone. Okay, so he's a werewolf. Oh boy. In a surge of violence. Why didn't our spidey sense detect that? Why didn't our spidey senses tell us that he was a freaking werewolf until like he literally transformed? In a surge of violence, the change that had been brewing inside Reese finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off and Wayne along with it. Stay where you are, run for the stairs. Well, he blocked off the stairwell, so I feel like if we run, I don't know. I don't know what to do here. So in this game, we can actually die. Like the main character can die. This might be one of those decisions. But we know he's blocked the stairs. So by the time we get up there, we're gonna have to unblock them to get out. I'm gonna stay put because I feel like if we run, it's going to make things worse. You aren't safe, but Reese feels strong now. I think I can save us. Stay here. I'll be right back. I just have to deal with the doc. Reese storms up the stairs, leaving you with his smears. Well, at least he wasn't aggressive, yeah. Try and leave. Wait for the... We're gonna try to warn Doc Kelly. You make your way to the door. You make your way to the door that beckoned you yesterday. All intrigue now washed away. You know where it leads. And you know what secret the stone that lurked in the forgotten basement of the clinic had to share with you. Now the clinic holds a new horror. Somewhere beyond the narrow hallway, leading from the house proper into the doctor's office, there is a monster, preparing to do something unthinkable. You grasp the handle and turn. Duck! Duck? Yeah. You do as you say, ducking out of the way. She shoots. The gun isn't very loud. There's only a popping pop as the projectile leaves the barrel, whizzing through the air. You turn and see a dart embedded in Reese's chest. He pulls the tranquilizer out between his ribs, heaving heavy breaths as the drug courses its way through his system. You're gonna have to try harder than that, but now, how did you... As if you could hope to stop me, you pathetic waste of flesh. Before Wayne takes another step down the stairs, paint flows out between the cracks in the wood. Reese's panic, pulling in a mob of furious smears, hold his enemies in place. The artist darts away. The smears continue their work in his absence. Wait, what does duck mean? I got this part and I was confused. Now I realized it's some sort of slang. Yeah, it's yeah, duck is it's an animal, but it means get down. It means get down, yeah. So it's like telling somebody to drop to the ground, yeah. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway, and Wayne is overcome, glued in place at the top of the stairs by stiffening globs of paint. Run after Dr. Kelly. Run to a nearby room. Run after Dr. Kelly. Oh, no worries, no worries. Yeah, it's a weird thing to say. You run forward, braving the onslaught of smears, dodging them as best you can. You try to see where Doc Kelly went. The door in front of you is smothered in paint. Hey. Dr. Kelly's voice crackles out of some unseen speaker. You, Timma. Stuck in the safe room. I can't help you from here, but you can help the both of us. What the hell is your son, man? I wish I knew. He was fine until he hit puberty. Everyone said raising a teen was gonna be a bitch, but they don't know the half of it. I need you to get to the medical storage room. I'll give you further instructions once you're there. To the medical storage room. You turn back and head to the medical storage room. I'm here. Great, now listen to me. You need to use the black tape key to get into the cabinet and bring me the elephant tranquilizers. It's a bottle labeled carfentanil. Carfentanil. Bottle labeled carfentanil. Bear tranquilizers. Clearly aren't going to cut it anymore. Whoosh. An intercom system, huh, Doc? Good. You should hear this. Emma, you don't have to do anything she says. I'm not going to hurt anybody else. Just her. If I don't, you and I know she's going to shoot me full of elephant tranquilizers. Did I hear that right? And shove me back down in the basement, or maybe someplace even worse, and keep killing me every day for the rest of my miserable existence. I feel amazing right now, better than I've ever felt in my life. I'm not dangerous. She's just scared because she knows she has to finally pay for what she's taken from me. I just want to go home. I feel like I gotta placate him. He has a point, Doc. You can't be serious. Look at him. He's dangerous. He's going to kill me. You're one to talk, Doc. How can we know there isn't someone else whose treatment you've taken into your own hands? You've done it once. What's stopping you lying to somebody else? Stepping in to treat them as you see fit, regardless of what they want. Thought I was going to die every day. Do you have any idea what it's like to give into your own mortality like that? It wasn't living, that's for sure. It wasn't even surviving. It was just enough. Reese cries out in pain. What the hell did you do to my shoulder? I'll handle it. Try to get some more safe until then. The two stagger off down the hallway. Quick, grab the tranquilizers and head to the safe room. Grab the tranquilizers. Do as she says. Tranquilizers are easy to find, marked with a small square of black tape to match the key. Certainly an organized woman. In the safe room. You make your way out of the medical storage room and back to the hallway where Dr. Kelly disappeared. As you approach, Dr. Kelly heaves open the door, slowly breaking apart the massive paint sill, sealing it shut. Hurry. I don't think I can keep it open for long. Slip past her into the safe room. She shuts the door quickly. But one of those little smears manages to slip past her. She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor. It sounds like Reese and your friend are still fighting. We probably have a few minutes before he gets here. Okay, there's a lot to explore here. What is this room? Old x-ray room, lead walls. After I realized this whole situation was a possibility, I had the door reinforced with special remote controlled locks. Thought it finally came in handy. You didn't walk me to the door after my exam earlier. You must have known I might have gone looking for something. Why didn't you make me leave? She sighs. There's something about keeping a secret for so long. It makes you paranoid. It makes you do things you know are objectively wrong just to maintain the illusion of your life. It isolates you. At some point, you just don't want to be alone anymore, whether you realize it or not. So you get sloppy, leaving things around you shouldn't, because that destructive part of you that wants to test the limits of how obvious you can be before someone is able to put two and two together. I'm not blind. I could see the things are happening here in Scarlet Hollow, unusual things. Yes, subconsciously, I must have decided if there's ever a time to let someone else in, it would be now. Let's talk Reese. Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Go ahead, I have nothing left to hide. Why did he not know what he was? What is he? When did you find out? A little after he hit puberty. He had all the usual changes, then a few extra. Thickened nails, sharp teeth, elfish ears. I figured he might have some kind of genetic disorder. Had him checked out by a few specialists, but there's nothing obviously wrong with him. Then we had an argument. He changed right in front of me. It was nothing like what he is now. Just a couple inches and some facial abnormalities. Enough to be noticeable. I was scared. He could see that. And he stopped. Thought it was a one-off, maybe a hallucination. But the second time, it wasn't so subtle, and it didn't go away so easily. That's when I knew for sure there was something beyond my realm of expertise. How did he not know what he was? I've been medicating him since he's 12. We've only had 3 incidents like this before, maybe 4, depending on what counts. This is the worst by far. He doesn't seem to understand at first that he looks different, and I just make sure to stay on top of his doses, so he rarely ever does. I've been prepping for this inevitability. He's an adult now. There's only so much I can do to control him. What is he? At first I thought some kind of werewolf, but if he is, he doesn't follow any kind of full moon rules or anything like that. Silver doesn't do shit to him. You've seen what he looks like, just weird. I almost wish I could examine him while he's fully transformed. I'd be fascinated to know what happens to him, or how his body does it. But he seems hell-bent on ripping my throat out, so I guess that'll just have to remain a mystery. Was his dad similar? A strange little smile creeps into the doctor's face. I wish I knew. Oh dang. Reese just kind of happened. I wasn't seeing anyone, I just woke up pregnant one day. I know how impossible that sounds. I'm a doctor, for Christ's sake. Okay, well. Freaking Emperor Palpatine made a Force baby. I kept having these weird dreams, almost like sleep paralysis episodes. Romantic sleep paralysis episodes. They're actually kind of sweet, but they were just dreams. But then all of a sudden, my period stopped, I got morning sickness, and roughly 9 months later, Reese. The relationship between you seems so difficult. Yeah, you could say that. He was such a cute kid. When I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. I didn't know if I'd be ready. But he made me a loving mom. We don't know yet if he's a werewolf. His mom entertained the idea that he was a werewolf, but she said that he doesn't follow any full moon patterns. Werewolves are only supposed to transform during the full moon, and he's not affected by silver, which silver is extremely toxic to werewolves, in the lore at least. It's not like it was going to be sunshine and roses forever, no matter what kids grow up and they change, sometimes for the worst. This is part of being a mom too. Doing what you can to make sure the child you brought into this world isn't going to go around eating people. How do you know he's dangerous? Well, it's obvious now, but... Well, he wants to murder me, so that's clue number one. It's not like he's usually a violent kid. He's mostly just sad, but every now and then we butt heads, and that's usually when this side of him comes out. Imagine if this happens anytime he gets frustrated with anyone. Imagine his road rage one day. Turns into a 12-foot tall monster with 1,000,000 teeth and rips somebody apart in the middle of a major metropolitan area. Yeah, he's dangerous. Indeed, he's a menace to society. That doesn't mean he's dangerous. I mean, you are the biggest threat to him. He's been kind to me. I can fix him. You don't think it might be a self-fulfilling prophecy? Oh, don't preach to me. He's a sweet kid most of the time. Absolutely. And Ted Bundy was as sweet to the people he picked up off the side of the road. Didn't mean he didn't go and slaughter them anyways. I know what my son is capable of, so it's my job to make sure he doesn't hurt anybody. What's the game plan? Both short and long. What's the game plan? Both short and long term. Well, I pump him full of elephant tranquilizers and lock him in here, then somehow convince him to see things from my perspective. Then we all live happily ever after. So there has to be some other way. It's just gonna make him feel trapped. Sure is, especially since I'll have to isolate him even more now that he knows what's going on. He's going to hate me. But you gotta work with what you're given. And that's what I've been given. And what I've been given here is an ethical dilemma, where I either let my son kill me, free him to go out and kill others, or imprison him for the rest of his life and force feed him poison to keep him controllable. Or, the third option, kill him. I've decided which outcome I can live with. While we're at it, any other secrets you're keeping? You have it all. You have no idea how relieved I am to finally say this shit out loud. You and Dr. Kelly sit in silence and wait for Reese. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence outside the clinic. This might be game time. Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. Oh, got bigger. Decision time. Is this what you were so afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers. This is our one shot. Not even the difficult choice. You hand Dr. Kelly the tranquilizer darts. Dr. Kelly loads them into the gun, leveling the barrel at her son. Not even a difficult choice. He's gonna kill her. Timma, I thought we were in this together. Thank God. Dr. Kelly sighs heavily, staring down the warped figure of her son. I could drag into the safe room on my own. I'll meet you at the front when I'm done. Leave it to her. Didn't you even stop to think? The way you sympathized with him, I thought it would be more difficult. No, I already decided that I was going to give her the tranquilizers. I gotta say the mom's right. He concluded that his mom was poisoning him when clearly she was trying to keep him safe and others. And instead of just deciding to leave, even though he just came to this conclusion kind of out of nowhere, He decides to kill her. No one died today. Yeah. It was. If he didn't decide to just kill her on sight, I probably would have sympathy for him. But his instinct was to just kill her. So yeah, it wasn't a hard decision, that one. You return to the entrance of the clinic. Everything is quiet now. Only streaks of paint where Reese's minions had once rolled out of the cracks in the wood. Keeping the status quo, lock them away. I hope you understand that this needs to stay between us. I don't care how much you feel like you need to share what just happened with other people. The more people that know about this, the more trouble it is for me and him. I don't need any more well-intentioned escape plans. Can I come to visit him? Do you think can I come visit him? As long as you don't bring anyone else, yes. That would probably be good for him. I can't promise he'll want to see you. Or that he won't have some harsh words if he does. I don't want him to feel entirely isolated. Do you think you'll let any of his friends in on this? She heaves a sigh. I'll have to think about it. We run the risk of one of them trying to break him out. But he's stuck in a windowless room with no internet and no friends. That's a one-way ticket to insanity. Then I'd have an insane monster on my hands. Stella in particular would be a problem. That girl never knows how to mind her business or follow other people's rules. She would absolutely have no fear of what might happen if he's cut loose. Anika I might consider. She's a bit of a bleeding heart and pretty inflexible morals, which could be a problem. On the other hand, I don't know how well she could keep a secret, and if Stella found out, then Kaneko would probably be convinced to do a jailbreak, and then it'd blow up in my face. You can probably tell I put a lot of thought into this. It's the same calculations I've been doing for years, debating whether or not I could be fully upfront with you or with any of them instead of just pushing them away and hoping they didn't notice what was going on. She sighs again. Maybe I can get him a kitten or something? Like they did for Coco the gorilla? Might as well give him a tire swing while I'm at it. Some enrichment for his enclosure. Hate that I have to do this to him. There's a magical stone in your basement. I thought you should know. Okay. Thanks for the heads up, I guess. Let's see. We're not going to flirt with the doc. Someone needs to kill him. It'd be better off for everyone, Reese included. Oh.
Credits, Builder Fine. Theta Kashi Wolf cheered X100, Timar.
Kashi! Thank you for the bits, my friend. Hello. Hope you are well.
Sia built on top of her research and brought forth breakthroughs like the world has never seen.
Good soup
Only Lux
indeed.
knows what happens to Johan.
Jeez.
Lux started to visit your dreams more often. You tried to ask about Johan. All she said was good things come to those who wait. Until one night, she had a surprise for you. Oh, is he just not?
Welcome in. Welcome in. Game is heating up. Still feel like we got a ways to go. Which is good. But yeah. Our friend turned out to be some kind of werewolf monster, so his mom shot him with elephant tranquilizers to stop him. What is this game? This game is called Scarlet Hollow. It is a paranormal style game. It is we've returned home to our hometown. We barely lived here. When we were really little, our mom left Scarlet Hollow and took us away to the big city. Our mom passed away, and then our aunt died a little after. Our cousin asked us to come back for the funeral. So we came back to Scarlet Hollow, an old mining town that our family kind of runs. Our family is the Scarlets. We own the mine, so we run the town. We're finding out all the dark secrets of our family. Our family is pretty diabolical, covering up things like the coal mine collapse, killed over 100 people. So yeah, we're uncovering things about our family. There's all kinds of ghosts. There's all kinds of creatures and paranormal activities. And we're just trying to navigate through it all. Oh geez, yeah. Yeah, at the end of this chapter, there'll probably be a recap. I don't know if I think we're closing in on the end of this chapter. And it'll give us a whole recap of everything. Mine collapse. Must have been the wind. Yeah, yeah. Well, what they covered up about it is the foreman of the mine, Charles Shaw, discovered that the support beams that were holding up the ceiling of the mine were compromised, and that they needed to shut down the mine because it was going to collapse. And our great-great-grandfather said, nah, that's baloney, that's malarkey. Keep digging. So they kept digging, and eventually the mine collapsed. And then we blamed it on Charles Shaw. That it was because of Charles's shoddy work as the foreman. And then we killed him and hid his body in the basement of a house we owned. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Oh, this is the last chapter. Oh, okay. Never mind then. I'm so sorry. I came here. I feel like this is all my fault. No, he wasn't taking his meds before we came here, so it's not our fault. Someone needs to kill him. I'm happy to help. I think I was starting to like the guy. Maurice. I almost wish he was more like a werewolf. Transforms on a predictable schedule. Isn't aware of himself when he does. It will make this all a lot easier. Instead, I have to stare at him in the eye while I turn the key, knowing that every time I do, I'm driving him further and further away from me. As much as I love to stand around chatting, I have to get to work. I gotta clean this place up as best I can before tomorrow. And you should probably get home. It's dark. I'm sure your cousin is worried about you. Put your arms out for a hug. No offense, but I'm not a hugger. See you later, Toma. Rude. She firmly escorts you to the door. It closes behind you. The night is oddly warm compared to the chill of the day. Crickets singing quietly in the sleepy little neighborhood. Everything that happened in the clinic feels almost like a dream. And now that it's over, you realize how little it meshes with your understanding of the world. It's time to go home. You don't get far before you're interrupted by the jingling of dog tags. Hey, Gretchen! Gretchen? Gretchen appears at the edge of the road, running as fast as her geriatric puck legs can carry her. Gretchen is Stella's dog, and Stella's been missing all day. We've been looking for her. Except when we, got attacked by a werewolf. We gotta stop looking for her then. Tima, please. You must come at once. I'm afraid my Stella's in dire emotional distress. She's been sitting one spot all day long, and I fear we're nearly out of supplies. Please come, talk some sense in that girl before I miss my dinner 2 nights in a row. A dignified lady of age, as myself, cannot survive on treats and camping food alone. You poor thing. Take us to Stella. We'll make sure she gives you proper dinner. Let's see. Poor thing. Oh yeah, we could talk to dogs. At the beginning of the game, we were allowed to select 2 attributes. There was like 7 or 8 different attributes. I chose abilities to speak to animals and a mythical capability, which allows us to see, like, we can perceive paranormal activity. What? Yeah, just casually talking to a dog. I forgot. That's not normal, usually. Oh, thank you. Thank you for listening. She's this way. You follow Gretchen. She nervously runs ahead of you the whole time, constantly looking back to make sure you're still there as she leads you into the dark woods. Before long, the trees thin. You find yourself on a steep hill by a 2-lane road, lined one side by sheer rock. And there, sitting on a log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. There she is, and she just won't move. Gretchen runs up and sits on Stella's lap. Gretchen, you're back. Don't scare me like that again. You sit along beside her. Tima? That ghost really did a number on you. Do I look? So, the ghost of Charles Shaw, who our ancestors killed and buried in a house we owned. The Scarlets own most of the property in Scarlet's Hollow. We paid for all the housing, and then we let the miners use it for, like, you know, low rent. So it was one of our properties that it was actually Charles Shaw's house that we killed him and buried him in. And apparently that house continued to be rented out with his dead body in the basement. So he was haunting that house. It was the librarian Oscar and his daughter Rosalina. So the ghost, the ghost was haunting the house. So we helped Oscar exorcise the ghost. Stella she's a YouTuber that hunts for paranormal things, cryptids, ghosts, aliens, all that. I feel like they scream your name casually. So Stella wanted to run this ghost hunting expedition, and it turned out to be a nightmare. So we find the ghost room, essentially, and once we stumble across it, me and our cousin Tabitha, we are put through this hellish experience of our past. All of our friends get possessed by the ghost, and they are all playing characters in the Scarlet's past and showing us the horrible things that our family did. And at the end of the hunt, we're given a choice to release Charles Shaw's ghost, but the cost is we have to give up some number of years of our life. So I decided to sacrifice. It would either be Tabitha or me that had to sacrifice our life, or we could just leave him there, stuck to haunt that house until someone releases him. So I opted to give up some amount of my life, and apparently he drained at least a decade of our life. So we've aged a decade in a day. Yes. That ghost really did a number on you. Do I look that bad? I was kind of distinguished. Let's see. Do I look that bad? I thought I was kind of distinguished. You look extremely distinguished. I was just surprised, is all. Let's see. What is this place, Stella? Why are you here? Stella faces you for a moment. Desperate eyes trying to force out words. Part of her she would never have to say out loud. And then turns back to the road. Oh, Stella is deathly afraid of cars. So she hates riding in cars. And the game kind of implies that parents were killed in a car wreck, and I'm guessing this is where they were killed. This is where the accident happened. My parents died on this bend of the road. They were taking me to college. I was lying in the back seat. It had just rained, and the sun was finally coming out. Oh. Oh. Poor girl indeed. Oh no. Oof. Indeed. Sorry. I know that's probably a bummer to talk about. It was awful. Really messed me up for a while. I think I'm still messed up. Yeah, a little bit. There's whole years of my life after the accident that I feel like it's never happened. Like every time I try to remember them, it's blank. I have all these videos sitting on my channel that I don't even remember filming. It's scary. At least it hasn't been like that for a while. Thank God. I've never talked about this stuff before with anyone. Stella, I'm so sorry I didn't know. You have nothing to be sorry about. I should have talked to somebody. I shouldn't have just run off. You tried to be there for me the entire time I've known you. Yeah, all 3 days we've known each other. I should have let you in. But if it's not too late, I want to let you in now. The two of you stare out at the road. I think the accident is probably why I got into ghost hunting. I tanked some ads and it's already made so much progress. Oh no. I think I just wanted to see them again. I wanted to know whether I even could. I never found anything, so eventually I gave up. Then last night happened, and I ran out here to see if maybe it would happen with them too. Even if it meant seeing the crash again or seeing them all messed up and dead, I just wanted to see them. It's been a whole day. I don't think they're coming. Let's see. They're probably somewhere better than whatever hell Charlie got trapped in. Yeah, Charlie was trapped. He wanted to be released. He didn't want to be there. Hope you're right. Thought a lot about what might come after, whether there's somewhere else or they just stopped existing. I guess we've seen at least some evidence of the afterlife. Hope that means there's a good version too, where they're still on that long car ride, listening to Dad's tapes, with a place in the backseat for me when eventually I catch up to them. And then it won't matter. I never got to say goodbye. They died with your future on their minds. Time for you to start living it. Yes. You and Stella sit in thoughtful silence for a long moment, as if both of you expect something to happen. You're right. There's new conviction in her voice. What the hell am I doing? Sitting out here wanting to see awful memories of them. They wouldn't want that for me. I don't think I realized how much I let this weigh me down. They were excited to bring me someplace new. I spent the last however many years just standing in place like I was waiting for them to come back home. You know that this game is also a dating game? Yeah, I figured that we could get these characters to hook up. They would be crushed if they knew that's how I was going to spend the rest of my life. So I'm not going to let that happen. You both stare out at the quiet mountain road. Thank you, Tima. I feel lighter. She straightens up, stretching her neck. Gretchen hops down from her lap. Bags jingling in the quiet night air. I know that stretch. That's the time to go home stretch. Thank the Lord I'll be sleeping in my own bed tonight. Thank you, Tima, for talking some sense into this girl. We should probably head back, right? I haven't slept in a day. Oh, she doesn't need to hear about... Okay. So, no, yeah, we're not going to tell her about Reese. Because she's probably going to insist that we free him. You keep the events that transpired at the clinic to yourself, at least for now. I don't suppose I can ask you to walk me home. I'd love nothing more. I'd love nothing more. You offer her your arm. She smiles, slipping hers into the crook of your elbow. He pulls you closer until the skin of your forearm brushes against her side. About time. Let's not waste another second sitting out in the middle of nowhere. And this is me. Do you want to come in? Dialogue options marked romance will start a romantic arc with the character you're talking to, and will lock you out of romantic arcs with other characters. Oh, they're all romance. Oh. Time for decision. Hey, let's I thought that would be fine. I was hoping you'd ask. I'd love to. Hey, start Stella romance. Stella ushers you inside, a barely contained grin threatening to split into an excited smile. Let me just go take a shower real quick. I've been sitting outside for a day. I need some soap. Stella patch. I'll just be a minute. Then we can get cozy. Oh man, I would kill for a shower. Stella laughs. Yeah, I'm sure you bailed quite a lot of ground today. All is yours when I'm done. She hurries off, leaving Gretchen in the living room. Finally, I've been reunited with my bed. Gretchen hops into the massive pillow that serves as her dog bed, curling up, sighing a heavy dog sigh of relief. I can catch up on my beauty sleep, but before she has a chance to fall asleep, a heavy knock startles you. Gretchen growls. There's someone at the door. It's that horrible man who smells like rotting meat. Stella, Stella. Who is it? You know who it is. Open the door, please, Tima. You summon the bravery to cross the room and open the door. Wayne cocks his head, the stained veil over his face fluttering in the breeze outside. So you trust Wayne? I don't fully trust Wayne, but he's only tried to help us. So I'm going to see if he has anything helpful. I'm not going to trust him though, per se. The outside of his clothes are streaked with what you first think might be gore, but you quickly realize it's actually paint, and there are wide claw marks down his shirt. But he's still in one piece after his altercation with Reese. What do you want? I won't keep you long. I know you have a warm bed and a warm body to keep you occupied tonight, but I wanted to give you a suggestion for tomorrow. You should take advantage of Tabitha's absence at the estate. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her around to stop you. Do a little exploring. You might be surprised at what you can find. Okay. He slowly steps back, shining eyes fixated on you as he disappears into the dark night beyond Stella's door. Gretchen growls escalates into barks. Intruder! Monster! Fiend! Oh, Stella, come quick. There's some disgusting smelling man trying to threaten us. Calm down, Gretchen. Oh, hello. Were you just talking to somebody, Tima? He was against you exploring further, and now he's helping. Yeah, that's definitely, yeah, that's definitely weird. Wayne stopped by. He's still following you? Are you sure we're safe? No, she does have to worry about him because he kind of threatened Stella. I think he's on our side. I don't want to. Let's lock the doors. Let's lock the doors and hope for the best. Guess we'll have to hope Gretchen's good enough guard dog to keep us safe. I'll tell at the throat of anyone who dares break in to hurt my precious Stella. They've been down within biting height, that is. But I always tear at their ankles until they have no choice. Gretchen snarls, yapping fiercely. That's right, Gretchen. You're the most vicious little geriatric pug there is. Really, your creepy stalker is all the more reason for us to share a bed tonight. If either one of us gets scared, the other one will be right there for comfort. Plus, you give us advantage if he tries to sneak in. Speaking of, I've had a long day. I'm about to pass out. Let's go collapse. All right, but you said you wanted to shower. Sorry, head a little fuzzy from staying up. There's fresh towels in the bathroom. I got some extra bathrobes. You can put close to the wash so they be extra clean for the morning. The shower, it somehow feels like the longest and shortest. What the heck? Sorry. It somehow feels like the longest and shortest shower you've ever taken. Too tired to think, too tired to process the flow of time. Bella sits outside the bathroom door, makes quiet and comfortable small talk with you, and then you're done. You dry off and step into one of her extra robes. Are you coming in? Ayo. You walk by Stella and into her bedroom. She gently closes the door behind you. Sorry, I didn't clean up. You can think of it as getting authentic Stella experience. Oh no, the Pokemon is in the shower. She slipped past you and lies on the bed. Dressed in an oversized shirt, you quickly follow. She's warm and still slightly damp from the shower. Her skin feels fresh and flowery. She turns to look at you, smiling. Dimples crease the edge of her mouth. You could kiss me if you wanted to. Let's give her a smooch. You shift closer and close your eyes. The magnetic pull of anticipation rolls down your spine and across your skin. For a moment, it seems to last forever. You take in every detail of the world around you. The forested scent of her eucalyptus shampoo. Man, this is turning into a romantic novel. The slightest hint of campfire. The comforting heat of soft but calloused hands against your cheek. The thunder of your hearts beating even more quickly in unison. The tension rises and rises. A tone seemingly without peak. Demonetization. Take the money. Worth. And then it breaks. Her lips touch yours. They're fresh and minty and soft, cool against yours, guided by the gentleness of someone looking to hold onto the memory of tonight for a long time. Leave the cannoli. Yeah. Love The Godfather. Or isn't it take the cannoli, leave the gun? And then she pulls you closer. Tighter as the two of you lose yourselves in each other. Eventually, the two of you break away. Open your eyes, gazing at each other from opposite ends of the pillow. You drift off together, limbs intertwined, exhausted, safe, and comforted. Tomorrow may bring some new horror, or may not. Whatever happens, you'll face it together. Take the money, leave the cannoli. This is the end of episode 4. Follow us to stay up to date on the rest of Scarlet Hollow development. Okay. Congratulations for finishing all the episodes currently available. You've unlocked hardcore mode. Save. Yes. All right. Well. So this game is still in development. It's still being worked on. So there's going to be more episodes, and when the next episode comes out, I will definitely be playing it. I don't know when that is. Let's see if we can look that up. Let's see. Check Reddit. Source of all mistruth. There's no official release date, but the devs are shooting for late 2023. Okay. Oh, we can. Oh, they do have a Discord. So I might pop into the Discord at some point. By the way, our Discord. There will be 7 episodes, 1 per day. Oh, okay, that's awesome. That is awesome. So we just finished episode 4, and there'll be 3 more. And some random person on Reddit said that the next episode should be late 2023. So you know that has to be absolutely true because it was on Reddit. Any theories? Well, I think the next episode is going to be covering the prisoner. Right, in the hallucination, or in the ghost's dimension, whatever it was, the ghost haunt room, we met the prisoner that was locked up in, I presume, in Scarlet's manor. So I think the next episode is probably going to be about the prisoner. I'm guessing there's going to be another stone in there, and we can find out why they had a prisoner locked up in Scarlet's manor. Yeah. Oh, who's the cat? Whether or not to trust Sybil. Sybil has been incredibly dodgy. She's been not very forthcoming at all. And she was just, it seems, effortlessly able to break into the ghost dimension. Yeah. So I think there's a chance she could be the cat. I don't think, the thing is, the way she described it like it was an enemy. And I don't think that her motives are purely in our best interests. But I don't think she's an enemy, or at least I think what she's doing is probably in maybe her children's best interests. So yeah, I don't know. Only give the spoiler because it's very difficult to understand this if you don't do a run without drinking any tea. Gotcha. But yeah, I'm curious to see I'm curious to see how it pans out. I mean, I think the only person that had, like, Stella has caused the most problems for us in this game. I don't think she's an enemy. I think she just lacks caution. Lacks a bit of common sense as well. But she hasn't done anything to hurt us directly. All the things that have done happened because that she's been exploring, not because she's been trying to do anything to hurt us. Worth playing again with other builds. There are many different paths. Yeah, we might do that. We might do that. I think for now we're gonna probably end up ending stream. But we will hang out for the raid. Get some channel points. If you get enough channel points, I will gift you a sub. I will gift you a sub if you redeem gifted sub. And that means you won't have to worry about ads, right? Oh my god. Sorry, you didn't hear that. You probably didn't hear that on stream. Um I actually just muted that. While I look for somebody to raid. Let's see. I'm going to switch scenes here. Go. But it still got me. Still got me. 2K. What's it? How much is it? 5,000? Okay. Until next Saturday, have a good week. Thank you. But do hang out for the raid. You do get channel points for hanging out in the raid. So even if you have to take off after the raid, you will get some channel points if you hang out. Let's oh, okay. It's too cheap. That's nice. Yeah, I'll probably raise the price, but I'll let you build some channel points. I will be trying to stream some more if I can. So I know I haven't been streaming a whole lot. Life has been pretty rough in terms of like work and just having free time. But I really do wanna increase my streams. I do like streaming. So we're gonna raid my friend Swolecat. Really cool guy. Really just helpful in the community. He always goes out his way to help people with widgets and all kinds of stream quality of life improvements. So if you are looking for things to put in your stream, Swolecat has so many like widgets and things that can help you out in streaming. Really cool guy. Has a lot of different models. It looks like he has some kind of EB model right now. He's usually a big buff cat. Plays a variety of games, mostly retro. It looks like he's doing a little follower celebration. So let's say hello to Swole. And yeah, thanks again everybody for hanging out. I really enjoyed that game. I will be looking forward very much to episode 5. Yeah. Catch you guys next time. Later.